Welcome to another edition of Football Fridays in Georgia here on Georgia Public Broadcasting. Tonight, we're in Woodstock, Georgia, where the undefeated and 3-0 Walton Raiders will take on the undefeated and 3-0 Etowah Eagles in a big Region 5 6A matchup.
It's been 14 years since the 9/11 attacks that stunned America. I'll tell you more about the meaning behind this memorial later on in the show.
I'm Larry Smith. Coming up, our extra point segment, the keys to tonight's game.
And Larry, I'm Matt Stewart. Coming up in our College Football Hall of Fame recruiting segment, we'll take a look at one of the top tight ends in the entire state of Georgia and a Walton freshman who already has 4 SEC offers.
So it's a battle of unbeatens. It's Walton, it's Etowah. The All Access Pass pregame show is coming up next, live on GPB. You're looking live at Etowah High School's Eagles Stadium, where tonight the undefeated 3-0 Etowah Eagles will host the likewise 3-0 Walton Raiders as both teams continue on their quest to make it to the postseason with a shot at championship glory in the Georgia Dome in December. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Football Fridays in Georgia. I am Mark Harmon.
And I'm Jackie Britton, and we want our broadcast to be a multi-screen experience for you, not just here on GPB TV, but also all of our social media platforms. To explain all of that is our Raven Tirado.
Thanks, Jackie. I'm Raven Tirado, your social media correspondent here for GPB Sports. And first, we're going to get things kicked off with what's trending in the sports world. First, a big upset for Serena, but not all bad things are being said. We got a guy right here saying Twitter is in mourning tonight, but it's important to remember that Serena Williams doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. That's right, she is definitely a legend. And bye-bye Yankees. A big blow to the Yankees. Mark Teixeira out for the rest of the season. Katie says, but seriously, losing Mark for the rest of the season is a huge blow. Right now, that's all the top stories and what's trending in the sports world. And guys, don't forget that we want to hear from you at GPB Sports on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. And you might see yourself on TV. Jackie?
Etowah High School Principal Keith Ball remembers September 11th, 2001 vividly because to him, it was personal. He wanted to find a way to memorialize that day so that his students would never forget one of the most devastating events in American history. Keith Ball is a New Yorker to the core, and like the rest of America, he was devastated on September 11th, 2001.
My dad worked in Manhattan on 9/11. He actually worked for the parking system there, and he actually had a garage in the World Trade Centers.
A native New Yorker, he'd only been living in the South for about 3 years when the attacks happened. But upon the destruction, he was on a passionate mission unlike anything he's ever felt before.
I was angry. I mean, I was mad, I was sad, I was probably the most angry I've ever been in my life. I remember having a conversation with my dad, telling him I was going to give up teaching and coaching to go into the military, and he was like, "You're not going anywhere." He's like, "You are contributing the way you need to contribute."
And so contribute he did. He went to his most creative staff member with an idea.
I was just approached by Mr. Ball, and he came to me with an idea that he's like, we want to put a 9/11 memorial on our campus. So I went home and I did a painting. I curved it because it's kind of the idea of New York City is the entranceway. It's supposed to embrace everyone that's new to this country.
The 550-pound stone in the middle honors those who died in the Pentagon attacks and Flight 93 that went down in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
I have the New York City skyline, we have the Pentagon, but we couldn't find a way to appropriately mix in the sacrifice that was made to take down the plane in Shanksville. So that's why I wanted to get the Pennsylvania Bluestone, but it was literally impossible. So we got the next closest thing.
For him, it was granite. As the 10-year anniversary passed, plans were well underway and a dedication ceremony was held for September 11th, 2012. part of his mission is to continually educate those who only know of September 11th as another war in history. To teach this to future generations, he leaned on technology.
That's one of the reasons why I think in terms of this generation we went with the QR code. We wanted to make a memorial that, again, no matter when you came, would kind of last and stand the test of time. So I think they did an amazing job, and watching the kids kind of respond to it and learn the history was very impressive.
No, it wasn't the military, but Ball contributed, just like his dad said he should. His anger was manifested through hours of labor, learning, and love for his country.
Yeah, it's not New York, but that doesn't mean we're not all Americans.
As you can see, this was not done half-heartedly. The entire monument is worth about $25,000 because of the cost of the materials and the labor that went into it. It cost Mr. Stay about 60 hours worth of laboring, and as you can see, Mark, it's here to stay.
Thank you, Jackie. A very touching story, a very important story for these students who weren't even born when 9/11 happened and don't remember it, to those of us that remember it all too well. Moving now, it's a great matchup tonight between Walton and Etowah. Both teams are undefeated. We check in now with our play-by-play team of Larry Smith and Matt Stewart. Time for a little chalk talk, little X's and O's, a segment we call Extra Point.
Thanks, Mark. Time now to take a look at our extra point, our keys to tonight's ball game. And Larry, let's start with the Walton Raiders. And on offense, they want to spread the field and block Rex Steiner.
Yeah, no question. Rex Steiner is unbelievable. You got to really make sure, again, to keep him off his game tonight.
Yeah, and head coach Mo Dixon says the Raiders want to be able to run when they want to and pass when they want to. They don't want to let that Etowah defense dictate what they're doing on offense. Defensively, the Raiders want to get their defense off the field.
Yeah, Etowah really wants to play that ball control, hold on to the ball, run the clock, keep the ball in the other team's hands, get them off the field, give your team a chance to score some points.
All right, let's take a look at the Etowah Eagles. They run downhill and pass effectively.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you say run down the hill, it's run with ease. Great blocking up front. The line play always so keen, especially tonight.
Tyree Devison has rushed for nearly 500 yards in their first 3 games. Yeah. And their sophomore quarterback, Patrick Ferris, has completed 74% of his passes. Now, defensively, Etowah wants to defend Letton and then everybody else.
Yeah, Letton, the tight ends, their top receiver here, but at the same time, you can't focus on him, because if you do, they have enough other guys that are going to really kind of come in and they could hurt you. So you got to make sure you get all 11 guys, keep track of them.
Absolutely, because if you put all your resources on Letton, then somebody else is going to beat you. That's the keys to tonight's ball game. Mark, back to you.
All right, we're getting ready for this big battle of unbeatens. Let's now check in with John Nelson, who's alongside Walton head coach Mo Dixon. John?
Here with the man with the plan himself. And you said when you were talking to us that you got to get through the first 12 minutes. That's the big key for the night.
Yeah, we want a pretty level first quarter. We want to come out of here 0-0 or us up, or really playing good ball at the end of the first. I think getting a good start here is a big deal. We're going to take the ball if we win the flip, and we're going to try to move the ball. And it's their place. This place is going to be packed tonight. It's a great setting, but we have to come out. Last year we didn't start well against them, and it didn't get any better the rest of the night. So it's pretty easy game plan. We want to start fast tonight and get after them. And
testing.
Let's face it, going to the doctor's office can be very stressful. So to talk to us about how to minimize that pressure is Rich Novak, president of Cigna Healthcare of Georgia. And Rich, I've got to ask you the first thing first. How do you prepare to go to the doctor's office the best way that you possibly can?
So, Jackie, it's a great question. And, what I do is I walk in with a plan. And that's really what people don't do that they need to do. Understand what your symptoms are, what your kids' symptoms are, and don't skip the details. If you got to write stuff down, write it down. You got to put it in your cell phone, and be prepared to ask all the questions that you need to.
And sometimes maybe people underestimate the value of having a personal relationship with your physician. How valuable is that, and why is it important?
So it is invaluable. Too many people, their personal physician is whoever they happen to see in the emergency room, whoever they happen to take their kid to see at an urgent care clinic. We encourage people, go see a doctor, establish a relationship, let them get to know you, so when something goes wrong, They're there for you. They understand your circumstances, and they can react appropriately.
So what would be your advice then to parents and their teenagers when it comes to scheduling an appointment and trying to get, sometimes it can be frustrating not getting someone as soon as you need it?
So the first thing is you don't always have to see the doctor. Nurse practitioners, physician assistants, they play a tremendously important role in the healthcare system. It's okay to see them. And then once you get the appointment and you get there, be detail-oriented. Lay out everything. Don't skip steps so that they can make the proper diagnosis for you.
And, of course, this day and age, we have a lot of internet. So where can people turn to for additional resources if they have questions about any medical care?
So that's a great question, because there are a ton of websites, a lot of resources, and some of those resources aren't that reputable, right? So stick with the brand names. Google Health, WebMD. Your insurance company typically has its own website where you can go to for information, and they'll point you to other places to go as well so that you can make sure you're on the right track and on the right path. And in case something goes wrong after you see the doctor, you've got the alternate path that you can take so you can go back to them and say, hey, this drug's not working, this therapy's not working, what do I do differently?
There's probably Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all those kinds of social media accounts too to help
Absolutely.
out. All right, Rich, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, let's send it back over to you. Hope you were writing that down.
I'll write everything down. We're just getting warmed up tonight on Football Fridays in Georgia. Coming up next, we're going to talk recruiting with Matt Stewart.
Head coach Brett Hicks.
We're also going to check in with some social media in a big-time check presentation. That and much more coming up on Football Fridays in Georgia, live on GPB.
Cheerleaders. Their head coach is Caroline Stock.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is made possible in part by Regions Bank. It's time to expect more. Georgia's Electric Membership Corporation, lighting the way. Technical College System of Georgia, learn more, earn more. Cigna, together all the way. And viewers like you, thank you.
You exercise. You choose the salad, occasionally. But staying well, physically, financially, emotionally, is hard on your own. So Cigna's got your back and your knees 24/7. Cigna's there to answer your questions, or when you need some coaching. In sickness and in health, Cigna's there, helping you to get well and stay well. That's having a partner who's with you all the way. Cigna.
It is the spring of 1864. The American Civil War is entering its fourth year.
What happened in Georgia in 1864 did determine whether or not there was going to be a United States.
We grew up hating Sherman. We despised Sherman for what he did to us, our buildings, our homes, and our people.
April through December 1864, 37 weeks that make Georgia howl.
Tuesday at 7 on GPB.
Welcome back to GPB All Access Pass pregame show as we get ready to kick off this battle of unbeatens, Walton and Etowah.
And it's important to know that the talent you see on the high school football field will be translated into the college gridiron.
Right, and right now we welcome in one of our play-by-play guys, Matt Stewart, for our College Football Hall of Fame recruiting roundup. And Matt, we got a lot of blue chippers to talk about. We're going to start with a tight end from Walton, Sam Letton, right off the bat.
Yeah, Sam Letton is one of the most polished tight ends in the entire state of Georgia. Already has 18 offers, probably leaning towards Wake Forest or West Virginia. Is not announced a leader, but probably likes those schools a little bit more because they are suited to his style of play and his skill set. Has 17 catches already this season for 351 yards and 6 touchdowns. And head coach Mo Dixon says not only is he a good ball catcher, but he's also an explosive blocker.
Sam Letton is a veteran. Let's talk about a freshman, Dominic Blaylock.
Dominic Blaylock is a phenomenal ball player. He's just in the 9th grade, a freshman. Already has 4 SEC offers. He had 4 SEC offers before his first day of class in the 9th grade. Georgia, South Carolina, Kentucky, and Auburn. In fact, he became the first middle school player that Steve Spurrier ever offered. His older brothers, Zach and Darren, you might remember him. They played at Walton. They're now at Kentucky, and he's also the son of former NBA star Mookie Blaylock.
How about Josh White, a guy who went from quarterback to sacking quarterbacks?
Indeed, Josh White is a guy that has moved to the tight end and defensive end positions, probably the positions that he'll play at the next level. He was their starting quarterback this time a year ago. He has offers from Mississippi State and Grambling State to play quarterback and a tight end offer to play for Troy. He's probably going to be a defensive end or a tight end at the next level.
And how about this? Walton has 3 kids going to the Ivy League.
That's pretty phenomenal. KK Brooks, their running back, is committed to Penn. Christian Sullivan is committed to Princeton, and Ryan Rogie is committed to Dartmouth. And another linebacker, Joey Goodman, is having conversations with Harvard.
Okay, how about Etowah? They've got a kid, Stuart Head, who's really going to become one of the best safeties in the state.
Yeah, Stuart Head's a really interesting story. This time a year ago, he was just transitioning from being a backup quarterback. He was battling for the starting quarterback job. They told him, you're not going to be our starting quarterback. We're going with the senior, but you're so good, we got to get you on the field. Have you ever played defense? He said no. They put him on defense. He had 140 tackles last season, became an all-stater. He's picked up 7 offers here early in his junior season, including teams like Georgia Tech, Clemson, and North Carolina.
All right, and how about the big lineman, Alex Smith?
Alex Smith, number 77, he is a big lineman. He has got 7 offers himself. Georgia State, Georgia Southern, App State, offers like that. And they're really counting on him because he's the only senior on their offensive line that graduated 3 Division I offensive linemen a year ago. His experience is very important because he's on an offensive line with 3 juniors and a sophomore. He's the only senior.
All right, it's Matt Stewart, the College Hall of Fame recruiting roundup. Nobody does it better. Jackie?
I'll tell you what, that is absolutely phenomenal. We want our broadcast here at GPB to be a multi-screen experience. That means you can hang out with us on social media. All platforms, we're there, and Raven Tirado, our social media correspondent, has you covered. Raven?
That's right, Jackie. And before I get started, what's going on and trending in the sports world here on social media, I got to tell you, you can get all the up-to-the-minute scores on our GPB app. It's free in the App Store. You can also stream the game. So if you've got family and friends that want to see the game, they just need to download the app and they can check it out. Guys, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter at GPB Sports. And we've got Snapchat, all the behind-the-scenes stuff that'll be going on in the game. And, you know, everybody's excited about this big game tonight, including Walton, Georgia recruiting, obviously Walton High School. They said big game today against Etowah, a little morning stretching, at Walton recruiting, #battle ready. Mark?
Hey, Raven, thanks so much. Now let's send it over to John Nelson. He's alongside Cygnus Kirk Erickson, who has a very, very special check presentation. John?
Indeed we do, Mark. You see the name on the check, and that is the end of the story, but let's get to the beginning. Let's start off with Kirk, official title, Vice President Regional Market Sales for Cigna. Thanks for being a part of Football Fridays.
It's our pleasure to be here at the home of the Eagles with Principal Ball, and it's just an honor to be here to help support the Wounded Warriors.
All right, time to talk to Keith. We heard your story early on about what 9/11 means to you, and hopefully, you know, this helps out. Thanks for being a great host for us tonight.
Oh, absolutely. There's no better place that this money can go to, and we're really thankful for Cigna to doing for us.
All right, time to catch up also now with Jesse Carzoli, the Wounded Warriors Project. The name is on the check. It's heading to the WWP. You guys do great work.
Oh, thank you. We're so happy to be here. We're so appreciative to Etowah and to Cigna. It just means the world to us. It's an important day for Wounded Warrior Project and a lot of the warriors we serve, so thank you. And thank you for having us.
Thanks for all you do. That is the check presentation, a very special check presentation, Mark. Let's send it back over to you.
Hey, some very big hearts here at Etowah High School.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really moving. Coming up on the All Access Pass, John is back with another edition of John's Georgia, and I'll catch up with the head coach of the Etowah Eagles.
And does watching football give you an appetite? Well, it does for us. Just wait until you see what our gridiron chef is cooking up. All that and much more when we return on GPB.
This moment, getting here took 3 years of sleepless nights and postponed vacations. Your dad said play it safe. Your husband kept the faith. But franchising is why you partnered with Regions in the first place. We share your vision for moving forward. And at moments like this,
Hi, Steve.
that makes all the difference. Is your business at a turning point? Regions.
When I was in school, I wasn't very interested in what was going on in the classroom. I even considered dropping out. Did you know that high school dropouts commit about 75% of crimes? And they make $250,000 less than graduates in their lifetime? If you're struggling, find someone to talk to. That's what I did. And I graduated high school. And that is a decision that I will never regret.
Stay connected to your team like never before with the GPB Sports Football app. Get the latest news. Watch featured games live wherever you are.
Finds a hole. Look at that. Look at that.
Find relevant info on schools and take interactive 3D tours of stadiums around the state. Tweet game highlights from the stands and get up-to-the-minute scores all Friday night. The Gridiron has gone digital. Download the free GPB Sports Football app from the iTunes App Store now.
In caves, dangerously deep underground.
There it was, right there.
It's everywhere. Amazing discoveries.
A most remarkable creature.
2 new fossils from the human family tree.
Beautiful.
Shedding new light on how we evolved from ape to human. Dawn of Humanity on this Nova National Geographic special.
Part of GPB's Why Wednesday, this Wednesday at 9.
Right now I'm about 100 feet high, traveling at about 50 miles an hour, just thinking about where I should go next. You have any ideas? Visit us on our Georgia Traveler Facebook page. Gotta go!
In caves, dangerously deep underground.
There it was, right there.
It's everywhere. Amazing discoveries.
A most remarkable creature.
2 new fossils from the human family tree.
Beautiful.
Shedding new light on how we evolved from ape to human. Dawn of Humanity on this Nova National Geographic special.
Part of GPB's Why Wednesday, this Wednesday at 9.
Since 2010. This includes our Air Force JROTC.
Welcome back to GPB's All Access Pass, coming at you live from Etowah High School, where the Eagles will host the Walton Raiders in a big Region 5 6A matchup in just a few minutes.
But first, time now to check out what's going on around the great state of Georgia. It is time now to welcome in the author of 5 books, 2 on high school football in the great state of Georgia, John Nelson, a segment we call John's Georgia, brought to you by
Georgia EMC.
And topic number 1 tonight is the Granite Bowl. You visited.
One of the coolest places to catch a high school football game in the state, and one of the most sought-after players in the state, Nicole Hardman. Last week, it was Elbert County and Stevens County. Here's a look at what happened last Friday night. And early on, it was Stevens County. Stevens County comes out with the early lead after the field goal. Then it was a back-and-forth game, and that's what these rivalries are in the state of Georgia. It ended up being 34-30. Nicole Hardman taking control for Elbert County, and head coach Sid Fritz, they get the win over Stevens County and their head coach Frank Barden. Great contest up in Northeast Georgia. That's it for topic 1. We spent time in Habersham EMC. Mark, what's topic number 2?
Topic number 2 is you had a trip to Carnesville, Georgia.
And this is what happens when you go 25 minutes in a car, you leave in the second quarter, and you end up going to the next place. It was a look at Franklin County and Hart County. Another back-and-forth game, and it turns on a punt block. Run back by Hart County. Hart County would distance themselves from the hosts at Franklin County as the game would go on. It would end up being a 38-25 final for Hart County. Hart County ranked in the GPB top 10s. They get the win on the road. That's it for topic number 2. Mark, what is topic number 3?
Topic number 3 is a team that's been on some hard times, but recently has won 5 of their last 6.
And we spend time in Upson EMC for this one. We check in with Crawford County. Crawford County won their last 3 games to finish at 6-4 last season. They're 2-1 coming out of the blocks this year. We caught up with head coach Greg Stroud to ask him what he wanted for an encore. 10-0, yes, but here's what he said.
We've had roughly 45, 42 kids every day this summer for summer workouts. That's including the middle school as well. We're trying to build that program up, just get it going from where it was. And those kids can just transfer over from the middle school to the high school and contribute. And I will contribute for, their sophomore and junior, senior year, but their freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. And we'll have what's called a baseline program there.
And that's it for John's Georgia, brought to you by Georgia EMC.
All right, nobody does it better. Thanks very much. Well, the Etowah Eagles are turning into a playoff powerhouse. Just before game time, I talked to the top Eagle, Coach Dave Svela, and he had these thoughts about his season, his team, and tonight's big game. Coach, talk a little about this program you're building. Last year, 11-3, you get to the state semifinals, and just the momentum keeps on building.
Well, the first thing is we got good kids. Our kids work hard. We're not always the most athletic team that takes the field, but the thing that I'm really impressed about is the work ethic of our players. I got some really outstanding coaches on staff this year as well. It helps a lot. But, it was a good program. Bill Stewart ran a great program here. I was fortunate to take a good program over, and we're just, like you say, trying to keep that momentum building.
3-0 right now. What kind of team do you have this year?
Not really sure. I guess we'll find out a little bit tonight. Walton's a excellent football team, and I'm hoping that our kids execute. It's really going to come down to execution. I think we've got some good players. We're needing to put a full game together.
It's a big Region 5 matchup. Obviously, Walton seems to be able to throw it and run it just about equally and equally well.
Yeah, they've got a ton of weapons. They've got a running back that can really get after it. Got some really good receivers, a great tight end. That's the thing that probably scares us the most is it's hard to prepare for a team because they can do so many different things.
Coach, it's going to be a sold-out crowd here. It's 9-11. It's going to be a very emotional game for you and your team.
Absolutely, and certainly not lost into for our kids is the significance of the day. We had a ceremony this morning at school to honor that. I've got a couple of veterans on my staff, and so those things are going to be in our mind. Add that to the idea that it's the second region game and both teams are 3-0. I think it's going to be a great night.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, it's almost time for kickoff, but first, we want to highlight a student who is a winner in the kitchen. Drew Landefeld is a 9th grader at Pope High School, and he's part of their culinary program. Tonight, we're calling him our Gridiron Chef. He makes us some very yummy treats, and Jackie is alongside. Take it away, Jackie.
That's right. Drew is only in 9th grade, and let me tell you something. This guy can cook up a meal. Both he and his mother are both chefs and caterers. They both appeared on TV Network's Guys Grocery Games. And Drew, what do you have in store for us tonight?
So today I have for you guys a savory chicken slider.
Love it already.
With figgy barbecue sauce and goat cheese. So let's get started.
Okay, let's go.
Already in here we have some cut shallots, and we're going to add to it some Cajun seasoning.
Okay.
Worcestershire sauce, some salt.
And then what you got there is that mustard?
And I have Dijon mustard here.
So is this like a dinner type of meal?
This is definitely a dinner type of meal. Easy for tailgating, and it's really quick.
Okay, good.
So we're going to add on our... So this is all going into our food processor right here.
That is an awesome food processor, by the way. Nice and little. I like it.
And we have a zippity zap right there, and we are done with that.
That's all you do. Just 2 little things, and that's it. Got some meat here. Is this chicken?
This
raw
is
chicken?
raw ground chicken
okay.
here. So we're just going to
nice and healthy raw ground chicken.
Yeah, so we're just going to spoon that out.
Okay, I'll let you do it. You're the master chef.
And we just mix together our chicken and our ground beef.
And then so I assume that your parents must really appreciate you doing all the cooking at the house. Is that right?
That is very correct.
I don't know. Maybe Mom would beg to differ on that one. All right, so we'll stir it up there. And then this has been heating for a little while, this little skillet here. Okay,
so we're just going to put that on the grill and grill pan.
Okay. Man, you think it'd be hot enough out here for it to heat up. Okay, so then we'll come over here and you've got a little sauce here. This is the fig concoction, right?
Right, so right here we got fig preserves and barbecue sauce in the dish already. So we're just going to spoon that together, and there we go.
Awesome.
Easy figgy barbecue sauce.
And it spreads all together, and it comes out looking like that.
So by the power of TV magic, we have...
They're already made. Imagine that. So you'll spread it on there with the fig sauce and the chicken sliders, and dinner is ready, everybody. Mark?
Man, do those things look tasty. Now, Drew's recipe can be found on our Facebook page, and you can also link to his blog, Kid Critic, JackieLatte.net. Now let's check in with Raven one more time for a quick look at social media. Raven?
Wait, can I get one of those sliders on Jackie's lap? I'm hungry right now. Guys, everybody's excited, including Ken Christensen. He says, let's go, Walton. Time to get fired up. And also Etowah, the high school band, prepping for the game today, yesterday. Here's a nice snapshot of them. They said hashtag Eagle Pride. And we've got Tammy here. She says, at WHS Raider fans, let's take over the number 6 spot. Hashtag battle ready. Hashtag Walton Unites. Guys, don't forget, we want to hear from you. If you want to get on TV, you can do that from home, just at GPB Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Over to you guys on set.
All right, it's getting in that time. It's time to eat.
As promised, let's slide into the game.
All right, sounds good. We've got Etowah, we've got Walton. It's time to kick off live on GPB and eat up.
Hey.
September 11th, 1928. The man known as the Georgia Peach has his last official at-bat in the major leagues. Ty Cobb, a native of Narrows, Georgia, was playing for the Philadelphia Athletics in a game against the New York Yankees featuring some guy named Babe Ruth. Pinch hitting in the ninth, Cobb hit a pop fly nabbed by the Yankees shortstop. An abrupt and unsatisfying end to one of the most colorful careers in the majors. Cobb was one of a kind and one of the toughest customers the sport of baseball has ever seen. He threw right, batted left, and liked to terrorize his opponents by sliding spikes up into base. He didn't always use his inside voice and occasionally needed to be pulled out of the stands for attacking hecklers. There's no arguing Ty Cobb was a flawed human, but there's also no arguing his power at the plate. Cobb managed to chalk up a lifetime batting average of .367, a record that still stands. Tonight, we have some other records to consider as the Walton Raiders square off against the Etowah Eagles. The Raiders are coming off a rough year. Because of an ineligible player, the team had to forfeit 3 wins and ended up 2-8 in Coach Mo Dixon's inaugural season.
Quit walking around!
We'll be looking to see how things go in his second term as the Raiders work on becoming the kind of contenders they've been in the past. The Etowah Eagles went 11-3 last year, the best record in school history. It was their 3rd season under the direction of Coach Dave Savella, and each year has been better than the last for him. Etowah made it to the state semifinals in 2014, and all Eagle eyes are on another crack at the championship. Perhaps all of tonight's players would do well to remember Ty Cobb's legendary scrappy approach to playing ball. So let the battle begin. We're live for another Football Friday in Georgia.
Time to play some football. That's a championship team right there. It's a hot time tonight.
Welcome to Eagles Stadium in Woodstock for another Football Friday in Georgia, where tonight the 9th-ranked and 3-0 Walton Raiders meet the 6th-ranked and 3-0 host Etowah Eagles. A big battle in Region 5-6A. And as you take a look at the region standings, you will see that the winner of tonight's ball game will be in the early driver's seat for the region championship in November. And good evening, I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Larry Smith. We're a long way from November, still a very warm night here in the metro Atlanta area. Walton, interesting story. They've been a state championship contender in the past. They're trying to get back to that level, while Etowah is coming off the best season in school history and trying to prove that they're indeed a consistent and yearly state championship contender.
And this can start right here against a quality opponent. As you mentioned, both teams 3-0. November implications in this, because we've seen it before. When you get into the end of the year, it's these, who did you beat back in early September? What teams, what tie breaks do you hold over other teams? The winner tonight, not just in the driver's seat, but it could be huge for them coming up down the line.
This is a much different Walton team than the one we saw a year ago in Mo Dixon's first season. They went 2-8. That included 3 forfeits. This is a much deeper team, rich in talent, lots of weapons on offense, and it starts with their tight end, Sam Letton, who already has 18 offers and might be leaning towards Wake Forest or West Virginia.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. His dad's offensive coordinator here. Watch Sam Letton throughout the night. He's a tight end, but he does so much more. We're getting the H back. They'll spread him out. He just does so many things in this offense, already averaging 20 yards per catch and 6 touchdowns in just 3 games this season.
And when Letton is around the ball, there's a good bet Etowah safety Stuart Head will be nearby. This is a young man that burst on the recruiting scene, was off the radar screen a year ago, now has 7 offers, including the likes of Georgia Tech, Clemson, and North Carolina.
Yeah, he just gets better and better. Moved to defense last year, never played there before, 140 tackles, became an all-stater. He's just getting better, and you're right, on defense, he'll be the key, and you'll probably see those two match up quite a bit tonight.
And he already has 22 tackles this season to lead the Eagles and 1 interception. Now, the third member of our team is John Nelson, and he's also down here on the sideline. Nelly?
Thank you very much, Matt and Larry. Good evening to you. Good evening to everyone, however you are accessing us this evening here on GPB TV, gpb.org, or the GPB Sports app. When you look over to that far sideline and the Walton Raider coaching staff, you know the head coach is Mo Dixon. He originally came into the state of Georgia through Lexington Catholic and Bob Spire and North Gwinnett. Now there are 7 coaches from that Lexington Catholic coaching tree, if you will, that are here in the state of Georgia at various and sundry high schools. Now there are 2 that are from Lexington Catholic, Mo Dixon, and now Coach Letton, who we've talked about as tight end, and he also has a son. So you have Bill Letton Jr., and the tight end Sam, who are now all on the same squad. They're all 3 Lettons. So Lexington Catholic is making its impact all the way down here into the state of Georgia. And Matt and Larry, when you think about Bob Spire, I think he's really the only coach who has ever won an indoor title and has coached for a championship in high school athletics as well. So the Lexington Catholic tree is up and running here in the state of Georgia. Let us light this candle here on Eagle Mountain for September football. Let's send it back upstairs.
All right, and speaking of indoors, we have finally made it upstairs to the press box as you take a look at Dave Savela, the head coach of the Etowah Eagles in his 4th season, record of 25-13, 17th year as a head coach. He has coached all over in his hometown of Lincoln, Nebraska, then in Bloomington, Illinois, and then the last 4 seasons here at Etowah. Actually started his career as an assistant coach in Minneapolis after playing linebacker at Northwest Missouri State. There's Bill Letton, the offensive coordinator of the Walton Raiders, the coach that Nelly was talking about just a few moments ago. And what's interesting about Bill Letton is that this is just the 4th season in his entire career that he hasn't been a head coach himself. As Nelly mentioned, he won a state championship at Lexington Catholic following in the footsteps of Bill Spire, but he gave up the head coaching reins in Lexington, Kentucky, Larry, to join Mo Dixon down here in Georgia with the Walton Raiders as the Etowah Eagles storm onto the field.
Yeah, getting back to Coach Letton, but what a sacrifice there to come down here. And how strong is that coaching staff to have a guy like him, not as your head coach, but on your staff?
There are the Etowah Eagles, 11-3 a year ago, best season in program history. In fact, last year when they made their run to the state semifinals, they had won only 1 playoff game in the prior 37 years of the program history until winning 3 last year before being beaten by state finalist Archer in the state semifinals.
As you were talking about again, just well, here we go, looking at, again, 1976 to 2006, just 1 playoff appearance, so you can see how they've turned things around.
And the Eagles with region titles, last coming in 2010 under head coach Bill Stewart. Dave Savela following in the footsteps of what Bill Stewart was able to do here with this Etowah program and finally putting this program on the map. In fact, in the last 10 years, Etowah has risen from being a doormat in this county to being the winningest team in this county with 66 victories over the last 10 seasons. And a year ago, they defeated Walton by a score of 40-13. But if Dave Savela told us he takes nothing from last year's victory over Walton because this Raiders team is so much different than they were a year ago.
Yeah, he's mentioned again, 25 wins already. Coach Savela in just 3 seasons. I mean,
That itself may be a record of what they've done when you look at what they did before 2006.
12th all-time meeting between these two teams. Walton leading the series 8-3. Chris King ready to kick things off for the Eagles, and Dominic Blaylock, the freshman with 4 SEC offers already, stands deep along with KK Brooks. A toasty 81 degrees here at kickoff. And Blaylock retreats to the 4-yard line and takes it from there. And Blaylock tackled by Stuart Head at the 18-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will go on offense for the first time tonight. Raiders led by their quarterback, number 14, Addison Shope. 6'1", 180-pound junior who has completed 65% of his passes this season for 703 yards in just 3 games, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He's also a threat to run it, averaging close to 7 yards per carry. Shope will go to the air on the first play. He's got Blaylock open at the 42. Makes a man miss Blake Jones, and Blaylock's going to sprint all the way to the end zone, an 82-yard touchdown pass on the very first play from scrimmage, and the Raiders jump to an early 6-0 lead.
Well, how about that for making an early statement, Matt, before anyone even sits down in their seats? Unbelievable. Just a great play right there, and give it up for the quarterback, Shoop, as well, standing right there in the pressure. Boy, he had a man all in his face and still got that ball away. Nifty move at midfield to get himself clear, in for the touchdown.
So Blaylock with the second touchdown of his high school football career on Shoop's 7th touchdown pass of the season, and the Raiders with a 6-0 lead as Nick Orell Jones is on for the PAT.
And I believe it's only his second touchdown pass, not to Sam Letton.
Orell Jones puts it through as we take a look at the TCSG touchdown replay.
And look at this, right all up in his face right there, stays in the pressure all by himself. It's a breakdown to the secondary, but the nifty move right there, and from that point on, hey, this kid is just a freshman. Look at the speed. Nobody's going to catch him. Race to the pylon, and he does it. One more look at this right here. He's wide open.
And honesty compels us that Blake Jones should have had him at the 50-yard line. Poor job of tackling by Blake Jones in the open field as the Raiders take a 7-0 lead here in the opening 16 seconds.
One more look right here. Great blocking up front. It's just a great play, and right off the bat as well. You don't see a lot of times teams like to do a short pass or a run just to kind of get in the flow of things, but to go downfield right away to see what you can get, they wind up getting not 15, 20 yards, but 6 points.
Dominic Blaylock just started the 9th grade last month. Already has offers from Georgia, South Carolina, Auburn, and Kentucky, where his twin brothers, Darren and Zach, are already playing.
Is there any question why they're already trying to get in on this kid? That was a nifty move right there. That was a veteran move he made there to get free.
Just a 9th grader. By the time he's a junior, he'll be one of the top players in the entire state of Georgia.
Yeah, if not beyond.
Sooner.
Yeah, that's right.
If not sooner than his junior year. Orell Jones will kick off. Going to be taken at the 20-yard line by Sawyer. And Sawyer, 5-yard return to the 25, where he's tackled by Piper. And that's where the Etowah Eagles will go on offense for the first time tonight, and already working from behind here in the opening minute of the game. They're led by their quarterback, number 8, Patrick Ferris, 6'1", 170-pound sophomore, who's completed 74% of his passes for 497 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, the numbers you saw just a few moments ago from last week's 36-21 win over Cherokee. Pass thrown complete, and just a 2-yard gain on the quick hitter to the outside and Jackson Sisk as we take a look at the Regions Bank starting lineup. For the Eagles up front, Alex Smith is the only senior up front for the Eagles. They graduated 3 D1 linemen off of last year's team. Smith has 7 offers, including Georgia State, Georgia Southern, and App State. And in the backfield, number 5, Tyree Devison. Watch for that young man. The junior already has 490 yards rushing on the season. And Devison gets his first carry of the ball game, and he gets stacked up right away by the strong safety, Christian Sullivan, who makes his 22nd tackle of the season. As we take a look at the Regions Bank starting lineup for the Raiders up front, Rooks, the junior defensive end, is going to be a high-round draft pick in the Major League Amateur Draft next summer, so watch for that. Goodman, been talking to Harvard, might get an offer from them. And in the backfield, the safeties are the guys to watch, Rogie and Sullivan. Rogie committed to Dartmouth, and Sullivan committed to Princeton.
Some smart kids back there.
All 3 of the Raiders who have committed to Ivy League schools have scored 30 or better on the ACT. Blake Jones with the catch at about the 35-yard line and close to the first down for Blake Jones, making his 11th catch of the season.
Well, watch up front. Watch all the hands up in the air. Ball up. This is just good teaching right there. Excellent job right there. Tipped. I think that's number 30, Jason Rooks. You were just talking about him. What an athlete he is. 6'3", 220 junior. Tipped. Hey, listen, that's 2 passes right here in this series by Etowah. Both of them were tipped by the defensive front of Walton.
They did pick up the first down, so 1st and 10 from the 35. Ferris rolling to his right, and they're going to run. Ferris doesn't run very often, but he runs for the first down right there and gets pushed out of bounds, and a flag's going to come out, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty on Walton for the late hit.
Yeah, that was tough. He tried to hold up a little bit, but just that little extra shove, extended his arm just enough right in front of the referee. And you get him for 15 yards. That may be the lightest hitting out-of-bounds personal foul you've ever seen.
We have personal foul on the defense. They hit out of bounds. That'll be a 15-yard penalty for the end of the run. First down.
I don't know if we have a good angle in the replay to show that, but boy, he kind of gave him a little bit of a shove. Here it is right here. Watch. Right side of your screen here. He's going out of bounds, and
the extra push by
Rooks. That's what got him right there. Yep.
So a 1st and 10 for Etowah at the Walton 38-yard line.
Yeah, that's one that you can't do that. He's, about 8 yards out of bounds?
Ferris, Reinsteiner, cannot hold on to the pass. Falls incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Etowah off to a great start this season, 3-0. They've won their first 3 games over Marietta, Sequoia, and Cherokee by a combined 139-49.
That's pretty nice.
Walton has been equally impressive. They have won their first 3 games by a combined score of 123-37 over South Gwinnett, Marietta, and Lassiter. Winning last week against Lassiter 34-20 in the game they called the Super Bowl of East Cobb. Actually, they're going to rule that was an incomplete rush. Pass thrown incomplete to Blake Jones. So the previous pass play to Rex Steiner was actually ruled a run because the pass was behind the line of scrimmage and backwards instead of forwards. And so they actually lost 3 yards on that first play.
Yeah, here's a quick replay again. Good hands there by Rooks. Makes him throw up and over and kind of alters. You know he's right there, so already you can see trying to throw up and over the big 6'3" junior's reach right there. Yeah, I thought on that last play, that first down play, that might have been a lateral. That ball was bouncing where you thought would be incomplete, but the players are still jumping at it, and the referee was right there on him as well to see if there's any change of possession.
So that's why we have a 3rd and 13 now from the 41-yard line. Ferris on the run right up the middle. Ferris makes one man miss, gets inside the 30, and close to a first down at the 28-yard line, where he is finally tackled by the cornerback, Jack Hoskin.
Yeah, man, I think he got it just on the spot right here. Watch this great call. You see him bringing the blitz. Runs right by 5 shirts right there at the front. Nifty move right there, and then the good efforts at the point of tackle to get that extra yard or two and get the first down. Nice effort right here. by Patrick Ferris. He said just a sophomore.
Yeah, how about Patrick Ferris? He's thrown for a first down and run for 2 first downs.
Yeah.
Young man that they had on the varsity last year as a freshman, even though he did not play last year on the varsity. There's Devison on the carry. A helmet pops off at about the 24-yard line, and Devison with a strong run down to about the 20-yard line. That's about a 7-yard pickup for Devison.
That's Matthew Morgan, number 75, the big 6'3", 275 sophomore, lost his helmet right there for Walton, quickly went back and got it.
Yeah, he'll have to come off of the field because his helmet popped off, so he has to come off for one play.
Yeah, big guys up here. Look at this. We're coming right in your living room screen. There it is. And he keeps, young Mr. Morgan keeps fighting, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, Matthew Morgan, just like Patrick Ferris a year ago, they had up on the varsity as 9th graders, even though they didn't see a lot of playing time. They wanted them up on the varsity because they knew that they were going to have to use them and start them as sophomores the following season. Riley, the fullback, right up the middle, inside the 10-yard line. And Vincent Riley, with his first carry of the ball game, picks up the first down.
Well, it's just a great effort right there. Great blocking, too, but you got to give it to the running back in the division. Coming right at you. Look at this. Gets out of that blocking situation, away from all the big boys, finds some daylight. He's got it inside the 10 for Etowah.
Yeah, Riley and Devison in that backfield. Both those guys are loads. Riley, 5'8", 205, and Devison, 5'8", 195, but has huge thighs. Reminds me of like the Todd Gurley thighs, relative to his body size. Not as big as Todd Gurley, but proportionate.
I thought there was a little bit of movement on the last play, too, along the offensive line. I thought that the offensive line of Etowah jumped, but they didn't call anything.
Dale Cameron.
For the snap, offside by the defense. That'll be half the distance to the goal line.
Dale Cameron, our referee tonight, making that call. So the penalty goes against the Walton Raiders, and it will be 1st and goal to go for the Eagles from the 4. So after Walton scored on the very first play and took just 16 seconds off the clock, Etowah has methodically marched down the field from their 25 now to the Walton 4.
It's been a very nice drive, and now 4 shots again the end zone in their first offensive series of this game.
Devison still on his feet and surging forward. They will spot it around the 2.
Good surge right there. You know, this offensive line of Etowah doing a very nice job of opening up some holes for their backs, for their quarterback. A nice job here in the first series.
Tyree Devison, offered by Jacksonville State. The junior came into the ball game with 490 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns in his first 3 games. Ryan Cayo, number 51, an offensive lineman, lines up in the backfield. Devison gets the toss, and Devison will not get there, but second effort. That was Ryan Rogie, the safety, who came up and popped him hard and knocked him back. Devison somehow kept going forward and did not take a loss.
Boy, this is sweet. Watch him right here. Just follows him, puts his head down. That's a great job. Doesn't wrap him up, but it doesn't matter. He knows he's got help behind him. One more look at it. Watch number 20, Rogie. Left side of your screen. This comes out of nowhere.
And that's amazing that Devison was able to get back to the line of scrimmage and not take a TFL on that after the big hit by Rogie. And it's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 2.
Well, after Etowah's done everything it wanted to on this drive, all of a sudden it's Walton trying to make a big defensive stand and send a message here midway through the first quarter.
3rd down. Ferris rolling. Heavy rush. And he's going to take a quarterback sack way back at the 22-yard line. A 20-yard loss on the sack by Joey Goodman, his 4th sack of the season.
Well, that was one rolling out to his opposite side, and he was in trouble. 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage right here. He's a right-hander, so he's got to stop and turn around. He's in trouble already right here. Boy, that's tough. Now you've got a really long 40-yard field goal attempt to try to get on the board when you were just 2 yards away from a touchdown. That's tough.
So Cameron Allen on for the 3-point attempt here from the 30-yard line in the left hash. A 40-yard attempt for Allen, who hit a 42-yarder last week against Cherokee. That kick is on its way, and that kick is good. A 40-yard field goal by Cameron Allen. come 6 minutes and 21 seconds into the first quarter, and Etowah answers the Walton touchdown with 3, and it's a 4-point lead for the Raiders halfway through the first quarter.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is made possible in part by Regions Bank. It's time to expect more. Georgia's Electric Membership Corporation, lighting the way. Technical College System of Georgia, learn more, earn more. Cigna, together all the way. And viewers like you, thank you.
Five minutes, 39 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Etowah capping a 13-play, 45-yard drive with the 40-yard field goal by Allen. Let's check in with Nelly down on the sideline.
Yes, and we have a certain gentleman down here on the sidelines who is number 37 in some folks' statistics, number 1 in the folks' hearts here at Etowah. It is Chris Kirk, honorary captain tonight, PGA Tour golfer extraordinaire. What's it like to be home?
Great being back here at Etowah, and really a pleasure to be able to come to the game tonight. Really proud of what the boys have done here since I've been gone.
I was going to say, how has it changed since you were here as a high schooler?
It's amazing, some of the updates they've done to the athletic facilities here and the school as a whole, and obviously the football program has really stepped it up a notch.
Now, this is your off week. How are you focusing for the Georgia Bulldog fans out there to make sure that you bring home the FedEx Cup? How are you focusing on your off week, sir?
I'm working hard on it. I spent some time up at Cartersville this morning with my teacher, Scott Hamilton, and did a little clinic for the local kids here this afternoon, which was great. And I'll be back home tomorrow, back in Athens, and getting ready to go.
Go get him in Chicago. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Send it back upstairs. Second quarter start. Well, actually, 5:39 for the first. Keep it going.
All right, thanks, Nelly. Great to see Chris Kirk down there on the sideline on his off week, coming back to support his alma mater, and his alma mater down 4 points right now here after 2 possessions of this first quarter.
Yeah, I love some of the technology. We were talking in our first game we did of the season 3 weeks ago that, no more taking just pictures and trying to get them done. These guys have got these big screen 50-inch TVs, and they're right away they're DVRing it, and they're looking at plays, and it's amazing.
Chris King kicks it into the end zone, so Blaylock will not be able to return that. And the Raiders' second possession will start at the 20-yard line. They've run one play tonight. That was an 82-yard touchdown pass from Addison Shope to that man right there, number 1, Dominic Blaylock. You see Walton much more economical with their...
Yeah, if only we could do that every time, right? Every team, one play, one score.
Well, Shope back out there. He was 9 of 18 passing for 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and 10 carries for 67 yards rushing last week in that victory over Lassiter. Nope, Shope going to take a knee. Savvy play by Shope. He knew he had no place to go. He just takes a knee rather than gamble with the ball. As we take a look at the Regions Bank starting lineup for the Raiders up front. Evans and Farley, the tackles, their prospects. Evans committed, or rather offered, I should say, by Kennesaw State, plays their home opener tomorrow, while Farley offered by Campbell and Stetson, and Brooks in the backfield. Watch for that young man. Committed to Penn. He's already rushed for 391 yards and just over 6 yards per carry this season. You saw Rex Steiner, number 32 for Etowah, creeping up on that left edge, and that caused some movement on that Walton offensive line. As we take a look at the Eagles on defense, brought to you by Regions Bank. Undersized defensive line there, but those guys get it done. Very strong in the weight room. Linebackers, Rex Steiner, very interesting story there. More on him as we go throughout the evening. And in the secondary, Stuart Head, number 17. He's the big-time prospect for this Eagles team, although he's just a junior. Already has 7 offers, Georgia Tech most recently. So a second down and 19. And Rex Steiner's got him for a quarterback sack back at the 2-yard line. And there he is. We'll have to talk about him now. Bronson Rex Steiner with his second quarterback sack of the season.
Yeah, watch this play right here. He's right there in front of him. That's one of those, again, where you see something in the film, because that's twice he's been right there. Much more aggressive here. Of course, then again, he's only had one play on defense before this series.
Rex Steiner's a guy that really brings it. His dad and his uncle, the famous Steiner brothers of WWE wrestling. His dad, an All-American wrestler at Michigan, and he brings that same mentality to the football field every Friday night. Shope goes up top for Blaylock, who beats his man, and Blaylock has the catch and a first down at the 37-yard line.
Boy, how devastating is that? This young combination right here. This Dominic Blaylock and Blaylock in one quarter. Look at this. You're deep in your own end. Again, pressure right there, looking at a safety. Throws it up top, just throws it up high, lets him run under it and get it. That's the best kind.
How about
2 feet down and he's in?
How about Dominic Blaylock?
Yeah.
9th grader, his first game ever on television. He's showing out 2 huge catches here in the opening 8 minutes of this game.
Yeah, 2 catches, already over 100 yards of offense.
And there's Blaylock again. He might go. Sprints through the defense, head catches him, not in time. That is a touchdown.
Yeah, flag though, it's going to come back. Not going to count. Holding looks like against Walton. Etowah catches the break right there.
Wow, that will erase a 63-yard touchdown catch and run by Dominic Blaylock.
And Blaylock 117 yards on 2 catches. Let's see who they got for the grip.
We have holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
I'm not going to call him out, I guess.
What was that I was saying a few moments ago, Larry, that Dominic Blaylock would be one of the top players in the state by the time he was a junior. How about before the night's over?
I was going to say, by Monday, right there it was. Oh, boy.
Wow. You know, we talked about it in our Extra Point segment in the All Access Pass show about them concentrating on Sam Letton. They haven't even targeted Letton yet. Blaylock has run free like a gazelle through that secondary of the Etowah Eagles.
You know, it's too bad that's wiped out. It's three times targeted, 3 catches. Just throw it up and let him go get it.
Setting up the screen, and there's Letton with his first touch of the night.
Nice move.
And Letton falls forward to the 30 and picks up about 6 yards on the pass play.
Yeah, and 4 of them there was all on his own after he already had some gray shirts right there in front of him. Spins around one guy. Good effort to then leap forward for extra yards.
Letton with his 18th catch of the season.
You talked as well in the pregame about not focusing only on Letton. You got other guys there that can hurt you. We've seen that already with Blaylock.
Yeah, good-looking prospect at 6'3", 235 pounds. He's been playing for his dad, Bill Letton, since he was 5 years old. His dad now is offensive coordinator here at Walton. Shope, time in the pocket. That's Washington with the catch. Washington up to the 44-yard line and gives them a manageable 3rd down to work with here.
Tell you what, give it up for Shope as well. He knows good timing on his passes. Every pass has been right on the money. That's a lot of work in the spring and summer with your receivers.
Shope replaced Josh White as their starting quarterback. White now plays tight end and defensive end for this Walton team. KK Brooks first down. Brooks up to the 50-yard line. Blake Jones, Allen Michael Harris in there on that tackle for the Etowah Eagles.
It's a line work right up front here. Nice job. Again, his young man finding the hole. Brooks, senior, good vision.
Big solid stick by Stuart Head at the end of that play, too.
Yeah.
You see Brooks's numbers on the season, 7 touchdowns. 1st and 10, ball at the 50-yard line. Shope scrambling, and he's going to take a sack. Blaine Miller drops him for his 2nd sack of the season.
Yeah, Miller, 6'1", 200-pound junior, is right there. Nice push right there by the Etowah defense as we check it out one more time. Watch all the gray shirts that Shope has to look at all over the place. He just is swarmed.
Larry, give a lot of credit to number 51, Ryan Cayo, the defensive tackle. He was the guy that forced Shope up into the pocket and right into Blaine Miller's path.
Right. Working together as a team.
2nd down and 16. Ball back at the 44 now. Looking for Blaylock. Flag on the play. That's going to be a penalty on the corner, Jack Sawyer.
I'll tell you what, the Etowah defensive coaching staff figure out how to stop Blaylock.
That's about the only way you can keep him from catching the ball so far in this quarter has been to tackle him.
Yeah. Well, as we said, 117 yards on 2 catches. Another touchdown.
Pass interference on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 2nd down.
2nd touchdown catch wiped out by the holding penalty back there. And then here's another 15 yards that he draws by getting the penalty. Yeah, he might be one of the best in the state before midnight. What do you think?
So keep an eye on him. He's number 1. He's up there at the top of your screen, split out wide to the left. Also, looks like they've got single coverage with Sawyer on him.
Stewart Head as well. As you can see him there at the 35, over to talk to his corner, working on a plan. Yeah. What if he try to maybe stay on that side of the field?
Cheat over a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
Help out. There's the defensive coordinator of the Etowah Eagles, Brett Barbara, who is also their strength and conditioning coach. And Dave Savela, the head coach, was telling us that, the weight room is the big thing for the Etowah Eagles. They might not be the fastest, the biggest team in the area, but they're going to be the strongest team. And they really pride themselves on getting in there in that weight room and really pushing the iron around and getting the job done. Savela grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, Cornhuskers fan, so he's a big proponent of the downhill running attack and being strong in the weight room. And here's what Dave Savela had to say to his team just moments before they hit the field tonight.
Man, don't play for me. This isn't about me. This isn't about these guys. I love these guys too, but it's not about us. It's about you. It's about you. And when you look around the room, man, when you take the field tonight, look around the room, these are the guys you're playing for. You do not want to let those guys down.
7-3, the Etowah Eagles down by 4 here in the final minute 14 of this first quarter.
A lot of offense so far. I'm sorry, Matt. A lot of offense so far. Do you think about that Etowah managed just a field goal in their only offensive series here of the first quarter? But again, they were down at the 2 and just taken out of a touchdown by that 20-yard sack on 3rd down. 20-yard loss.
Savela in his 4th season says really the keys to the program's success in his first 38 games as the head coach. Number 1, a staff that's committed coaches, and it comes from a varied background, so a lot of different ideas in that coach meeting room, and also number 2, creating continuity for the kids, and the system doesn't change from year to year. On the 2nd down carry, KK Brooks stopped short of the 1st down, just shy of the 40-yard line by Alan Michael Harris, making his 2nd tackle tonight and his 15th of the season. Well, this is a situation right here. If I'm Mo Dixon, I'm Bill Letton, I might take a shot with Blaylock down the sideline, knowing that I'm in 4-down territory.
Yeah.
Instead, it's Brooks getting the 1st down. Blaine Miller making that tackle, but not until after Brooks picks up 3 yards on the play to the 37.
Just a ball control, working the way downfield, but you got to feel like in the next 2 or 3 plays they're going to go back to Blaylock again. No one stopped him yet. Again, he's at the top of your screen, number 1 in white.
They've got Letton lined up at a true tight end position on the right side of the line. Could be the final play of the first quarter. Shope goes to Letton, who's wide open. Nice catch as Letton had to reach behind him and right off his leg, plucked it out of the air, and a 1st down at the 10-yard line.
Oh, Matt, what a great athletic move right there by Sam Letton. Let's watch this. He's going to come right at you here. Nice move right here. Nobody touches him. Now it's behind him. He's got to spin around reverse his body, the two-handed catch, bring it in, and then take the impact. One more look at it right here. That's just a great athletic play by this young man who's going to be playing on Saturdays very soon.
Shope on the keeper. Shope inside the 5, and Shope down inside the 1. I tell you what, they are doing a great job. Bill Letton is really doing a really good job of play calling here in this first quarter. They've got Etowah totally off balance as we wrap up the first quarter.
Completely. And again, everybody watching Blaylock, you go back to Letton, who hasn't really seen much. Jack Sawyer there with the tackle to save a touchdown. Nice effort right there as he was getting blocked by Blaylock.
And that is the end of the first quarter. We have played 12 minutes. Walton on top 7-3 on the opening play. 82-yard Shope to Dominic Blaylock. And when we come back to start the second quarter, inches away from a second touchdown.
At the heart of our community are the businesses that don't skip a beat. Georgia's electric membership cooperatives stand behind local commerce. Whether keeping farms running or shining a light on new ventures, we bring business, large and small, to our communities. Creating jobs, driving development, supporting dreams. Georgia's EMCs, powering our businesses, lighting the way.
This moment, getting here took 3 years of sleepless nights and postponed vacations. Your dad said play it safe. Your husband kept the faith. But franchising is why you partnered with Regions in the first place. We share your vision for moving forward. And at moments like this,
Hi, Steve.
that makes all the difference. Is your business at a turning point? Regions.
You exercise. You choose the salad, occasionally. But staying well, physically, financially, emotionally, is hard on your own. So Cigna's got your back and your knees 24/7. Cigna's there to answer your questions. Or when you need some coaching. In sickness and in health, Cigna's there, helping you to get well and stay well. That's having a partner who's with you all the way. Cigna.
Nothing prepares you better for a great career than the Technical College System of Georgia. TCSG colleges produce graduates with the knowledge and training today's top employers are looking for. With campuses across Georgia, state-of-the-art facilities, and outstanding instructors with real-world experience, it's the kind of affordable college education that will fast-track you into a rewarding career. We're building a better future for you. Contact the TCSG college in your area today or go to tcsg.edu.
Good morning. It's 8 o'clock. Wherever you are in Georgia, we're glad you're listening.
We're hearing from people all over the state right now supporting their public radio station.
Thank you for 88.5. What a great new station.
At last, thoughtful and intelligent information and discussions during the day.
Our reporting is more reflective of the community around us.
GPB is here for you every time you need us.
We want to be a part of the community that is Georgia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support.
7-3 Walton as we start the second quarter. If you missed GPB's Emmy-winning series of videos chronicling General Sherman's brutal march through Georgia, here's your chance to see the whole story. The same team who made 37 weeks, Sherman on the March, combined those 38 videos into one fantastic documentary called When Georgia Howled. See it this Tuesday at 7 o'clock. That howl you hear right now coming from the Walton Raiders, who start this second quarter with their 16th play of this drive and just inside the 1-yard line.
And they were down at their own 2 on a third down play earlier in this series.
Shope gets pushed into the end zone for the touchdown. Addison Shope with his second touchdown rushing of the season. And Walton takes a 13-3 lead.
A nice effort right there. As you said, 16 plays here in the TCSG touchdown replay. Number 14, Schuper. Watch that coming up from behind. It's a nice move right there. And KK Brooks with the nice push, the assist from behind to get him in the end zone, and second touchdown of the night already for Walton.
Nick Orell Jones on for the PAT. He puts it through, and in the opening 4 seconds of the second quarter, Walton has built an 11-point lead. How about Addison Shope? Scores the touchdown. He was 5 for 5 for 160 yards passing in that first quarter as we check in with John Nelson down on the sideline.
Speaking of scores, Matt, we'll let you know what's going on around the state. A lot of big non-region matchups. Some regions are actually in their first region games for the year. A couple of scores early on. Archer, 7-0 on Grayson. A 40-yard run by Jemias Williams sets up their score. Second quarter, a bit of a surprise. McEachern and Peachtree Ridge are scoreless. So Peachtree Ridge's defense holding Bailey Hockman in check. 2 early surprises. Benedictine now trails Liberty County 9-7. They were down 9-0. That's in the second quarter. Also after one, Hart County down to Thompson, 21-0 in the Bulldogs, and Milan Turner back upstairs. More later.
All right, appreciate those scores, Nelly. A 16-play, 80-yard drive. Larry, as you pointed out, actually was about 98 yards because they started at the 20 and got pushed all the way back to their 2-yard line before they started moving forward.
Well, if you recall, you had Shoup had nowhere to go and took a knee on first down, and then got a penalty, dropped him back even further. And then a sack down back to by the 2 and was almost ahead of man in his face. And inside the end zone, got that pass away to Blaylock, 35-yard gain for the first down, and then just marched down the field from there.
So Nick Orell Jones to kick off. Pooch kick. Taken at the 24-yard line. And the return up close to the 50-yard line by Salam. Mohamed Salam with a 26-yard return and good field position for Etowah for just their second possession of the game.
Nice block. Watch number 32 on the right side of your screens. Ryan Rechsteiner coming up. You can see him in front. It's like, how is he going to get in front? And there he is. Finally managed to get in front. Little block. Let him get about another 8-10 yards there on the return. Just a great job right there.
So Ferris back out there to direct the Etowah offense. Just their second possession here. 12-plus minutes into the game. Their first went 13 plays and 45 yards. Devison slips out of one tackle and another. He is a hard runner, and Devison inside Walton territory. A 6-yard, hard-fought gain by Tyree Devison.
That's the kind of play that drives a defensive coach as nuts. You think you've got him bottled up, and look at this. Watch this right here. You got to tackle him low. Somehow he spins out. That's just great upper body strength to spin out of that. It takes 3 guys, broke 5 tackles in all if you start to count them.
Yeah. Sabela told us that Devison was the type of running back that he loves as a coach, hated as a player. Former college linebacker. He said it was those little running backs that you just had a hard time seeing. They really made you look bad when they were out there on the field and hard to bring down, as you saw from Devison right there. He's happy that he's now a coach and Devison is his running back.
Yeah. Well, 5'8", 193, built low to the ground, low center of gravity. With those big thighs, just keep churning, keep moving him.
Riley with his second carry of the night gets the ball to the 42, so now a 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles. Devison going to be close to the first down. I believe Bennett Wilson, number 52, the nose tackle, the first guy to get there, or at least the last guy to keep him from getting to the first down yardage marker. If indeed they did, they might measure here. Well, they're going to say 4th down without measuring.
Boy, that's really close.
I think I'd like a measurement, please.
Sure would.
So 4th down in what has to be inches.
I'm not quite sure how you make that call.
Better eyesight than I have.
I guess so, yeah.
4th down, that's going to be a first down. Garrett Eldridge, the linebacker, got a little anxious and jumped over the line. Mo Dixon not happy with it. Eldridge, their leading tackle with 40 stops on the season. Mo Dixon's incredulous.
kind of play makes you pull your hair out. Well, wait a minute.
That's why he
too late.
shaves his head so he doesn't have to do that.
That's right.
Save himself the trouble. 1st and 10, ball at the 35. Ferris scrambling, in trouble, quarterback sack, ball out. Rooks with the sack at the 45. They're going to rule that the ball was down. Mo Dixon standing way over at their 40-yard line, out on the field and pointing in the opposite direction, will not get the call go his way.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Great play right here by Rooks. He talked at the very top. He's a top professional baseball prospect. He's only a junior, 6'3", but what a great athlete. We watched early on. He knocked it, batted, and tipped the first 2 passes that Walton even attempted. This time here, runs down the quarterback, gets the sack.
Second sack of the night for the Raiders, and their 16th as a team this season. A loss of 10 on the play brings up a 2nd down and 20 from the 45.
The defense getting one back. Coach, we got you back. We lost. Bad play on 4th down, but how about this? We just got 10 yards back.
Sisk, that was a dangerous pass as he gets leveled right away by Christian Sullivan. That could have been a pick 6. Sullivan was trained on Sisk and leveled him right as the ball got there.
Well, again, Matt, it's great coaching. I just talked about again. Now this defensive front for Walton throwing their hands up. Look at that. Hands up in the air. That's Eldred, the linebacker, coming in. Good, smart instincts, good coaching. When the ball's about to be thrown, it's up in the air. Get your hand up there. Make him throw it over your hand. Make him alter it. Make him think about, hey, I'm going to have a hand in the way. I can't just throw it the way I want to throw it. I got to loft up a little bit, and that's how big plays happen. Right there, again, like you said, Etowah very fortunate there wasn't another defender there in the area where that ball was thrown. Otherwise, could have been 6 the other way.
Ferris, who had completed 74% of his passes coming into the ball game, only 2 of 5 tonight for 9 yards. 3rd down and 20. Ferris scrambling, he's in trouble, and sacked again. Bennett Wilson with his 2nd quarterback sack, the 3rd sack for the Raiders defense in the first 15 minutes of this game. As the Eagles go in reverse, they'll have to punt.
Well, the Raiders have really come alive on defense right here. He's just got nowhere to go. But this is what happens again. It's almost like they kind of got together in the huddle and said, you know what, boy, we really made a big mistake in that 4th and inches right there. The offside, gave him a 1st down. We're going to make sure we get this back. And they've done it in a big way.
There's Bennett Wilson, his older brother Price, the quarterback at Walton several years back. Signed with Alabama and now a quarterback at Louisiana Tech. Cameron Allen kicks the ball out of bounds. We'll see where the officials spot that.
First punt of the game.
Still walking up the sideline, and they're going to settle on the 18-yard line. So Walton will go back on offense for a 3rd time now from their own 18. And leading by 11 points already. With 7.5 minutes to play here in the first half.
Well, we talked about at the top as well, Walton has so many weapons on offense. We've seen so many guys touch the ball and do it so effortlessly.
Yeah, what's interesting is we really have not seen, as Shope has had a big night already, we really haven't seen a lot out of KK Brooks, their running back.
Yeah.
Who had rushed for 391 yards already this season, went for 169 last week against Lassiter. And speaking of Brooks, he gets the carry. Brooks picks up 2 yards on the play. Blake Jones making that tackle.
Well, again, you open things up, a lot of passing. We saw there, Shope 5 of 5. That doesn't count the 63-yard touchdown pass that was called back because of a holding.
Yeah, Etowah is very fortunate that they're not down 21-3 right now.
Yeah, he could have 220 yards passing already here at the 7-minute mark in the 2nd quarter.
Shope, lots of time in the pocket, and Blaylock, nice catch across the 50 and down to the 46.
Are you kidding me?
Wow, just a freshman, as a legendary play-by-play man once said.
That's right. Look at this. Great patience. I'm telling you, this is just practice. This is just great talent right here. The tipped ball stays with it. The patience by the quarterback. Shoot.
Wow, Blaylock putting on a show. 1st and 10. They have the ball in Etowah territory at the 45. Shope steps up, throws. He's got Blaylock. Oh, my goodness. Touchdown.
That's all you got to do. Listen, Shope is going to become an All-American just throwing it to Blaylock. What, is that now, 7 of 7 here?
Wow. 45-yard touchdown pass to Dominic Blaylock, a freshman who is lighting it up on Football Fridays in Georgia.
One more time. Gets loose just when you think you've got him. He gets out behind the defense. At that point, again, just throw the ball up. He's going to go get it. Nice speed, nice hands. And, folks, he's only a freshman. Just his 4th game ever as a high school football player.
2 touchdown catches of 82 and 45 yards tonight, and had a 62-yard touchdown catch called back because of a penalty on the offensive line.
Well, I've got him for 197 yards on 4 catches already and 2 touchdowns. How about that? In a quarter and a half.
Breaking news, folks. The freshman Dominic Blaylock has announced his candidacy for Player of the Year in the state of Georgia.
That's right.
What a first half for the 9th grader. Walton leads 21-3.
Your local Alpha agents are proud to join viewers like you in making this programming possible.
We're local agents in the community. We're part of the community.
I love doing business in the town that I live in. My clients are my friends.
They can just step in my office and say hello. That's very important to me.
We want to be available to them in case they need us.
You get a lot of reward personally going home at night knowing that you've taken care of folks.
Protecting our communities, neighbor to neighbor, for almost 70 years. Alpha Insurance.
Walton with a 21-3 lead on Etowah, and a big reason why, because of number 1. He's played like the number 1 young man on the football field tonight. Dominic Blaylock, 4 catches for 199 yards, the latest capping a 4-play 82-yard drive. He has 2 touchdowns, and when we talked to Mo Dixon this week, I asked him, I said, Blaylock, he's a 9th grader, he's already got 4 SEC offers. Is he as good as all that? And he said, yeah, he's as good as all that, and we now know that he is as good as all that.
Well, here, what's the over-under on the offers he's going to get come Monday morning, before Monday morning, over the weekend?
Yeah, Dixon said, in the 7-on-7s during the summers, he went up against all the juniors and seniors from all the powers in the Southeast, Burns from South Carolina, Grayson, Roswell, North Gwinnett from here in the metro Atlanta area, and he more than held his own. And here tonight, he has been a one-man wrecking ball against this Etowah secondary.
Yeah, he's just been unbelievable. As we talked about again, just a freshman in his 4th game as a high school player. 2 touchdowns. Here's the first one. The first play of the game right here. They throw it up top. He has to stop for the ball. He's already would have run past it. Great move there at the midfield to clear up on an 83-yard touchdown pass. And he wasn't done. That was just getting started. Now, he had a 63-yarder that was called back by a holding penalty. And then just a moment ago, here he is again. Shope looking downfield, throw it up. He'll go get it. Gets behind the defense. And again, went 199 yards on 4 catches. And again, had a 3rd touchdown catch that was called back. He could be over 260 receiving right now, halfway through the 2nd quarter.
So Etowah now down 18 points here in the first half, and Devison gets the carry. And Devison bursts through the defense and across midfield before Sullivan has a touchdown-saving tackle at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, nice hands there, too, by Devison to hold on to that ball. As he was getting wrapped up right there by Christian Sullivan. Watch this. Sees it, goes outside. Great play right here by Sullivan to go after the ball. 2 very smart techniques by both the defender and the running back. First down for Etowah, and they're on the move in the Walton territory.
Devison rushed for close to 1,600 yards last season as a sophomore, and he didn't even make his first start until the 7th game of the season. And there's Devison again. And I think this is a smart move by Etowah here. Get back to what you do. Yeah. And what you do is give Devison the ball. Yeah. He rushed for 243 yards in last week's win over Cherokee. If you want to get back in this ball game here tonight, you got to give him the ball.
Yeah, give it to him. Just let him do his thing. See, nice job right there. Again, we talked about before, just such low center of gravity. You can't just hit him once. You got to really hit him low and wrap him up. Get those thighs corralled and have some help behind you, because he's going to find a way to break loose. He took a direct hit right there and kept moving, kind of like a Walter Payton type.
2nd down and 2. First down carry for Devison as he lunges forward to the 36-yard line. Hayden Coney, the linebacker, making the tackle.
Limping just a little bit right here now. He'll come out of the game. Walton defense is happy about that. See him get out of there. Hopefully nothing serious. Not the total yards for these two.
Wow, Blaylock and Shope combined for 441 and Etowah 56. Now it's a little misleading because a lot of that Shope and Blaylock yardage is together.
Right.
Their combined numbers. Yeah. But if you add their totals, that you get up to that 441 number. Rex Steiner, pardon me, with the carry. And Rex Steiner down to about the 31-yard line. He picks up 5 on the play. Man, he is a solid-looking kid. Yeah. What's amazing about Rex Steiner is earlier this week, he benched 380, he squatted 520, and he runs a 4.540.
Gee whiz.
He is a tremendous athlete, just like his father and his uncle, who were All-American wrestlers, then went into professional wrestling. 2nd down.
Gang tackled right there. You know, the white shirts all around him. It's Devison still out of the game.
Cornelius Smith on the carry right there. So 3rd down, you see obviously a little bit of a drop-off there when Devison comes out of the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down conversion coming up for the Eagles right here. They need to sustain this drive, keep it going. They did it again. Ferris must be doing something down there. I don't know if Nelly's close enough to hear it, but he must have a huge bark on his cadence, because that's the 2nd time in a crucial situation he has been able to draw Walton off sides.
Enough for a first down? Still be 3rd down and inches, 3rd down inside 1.
Nelly, what you got down there?
It's all in the cadence, because as you well know, if you go hard and then you soften it up and then you become a little more urgent, that's what's happening. It's all in the change of the cadence. It's throwing them off.
How about that sophomore Patrick Ferris showing a little savvy there? That's, I mean, he hasn't had a great night passing the ball, and the offense hasn't done a whole lot yet, but he has had 2 really smart plays here in consecutive possessions. Let's see if they can convert on 3rd and less than 1. Ferris, I think he got the first down. He didn't need much. He got a little bit more than he needed. And that's going to be a first down for the Eagles here as we approach the 4-minute mark of this 2nd quarter. Big old Alex Smith, the veteran leader on that offensive line, getting some help from Ferris there with the chin strap. Smith, number 77, a 6'4", 275 senior. And what's crucial about Smith is he is the only senior on that offensive line for the Eagles this season after they graduated 3 D1 offensive linemen off of last year's team. Nick Searcy, who went to Air Force, and the Morgan brothers, Brad and Scott, who signed with Georgia Tech. And there's Smith.
Yeah.
And now, just like that, Devison gets back in the ball game just in the nick of time. They need him in there.
Yeah, I was trying to see. I didn't see him getting any kind of medical attention. Devison, that is, after he came off kind of limping.
Saw Hayden Coney, 42, the linebacker, sprint off. His backup, Miller Morgan, checks in, number 32. So 2nd down and about 11. Ball at the 25. Approaching 3 minutes left in the first half. Ferris bounces the ball out there to Rex Steiner. Ferris replaced Robbie Knox as the starting quarterback this season. Knox, the senior, led him to the state semifinals a year ago, throwing for 1,500 yards in his final year with the Eagles. Third down. Unbalanced to the near side here. Everybody lined up on the right. Time for Ferris going up top. He's got Blake Jones. Can't hit him. That hurts if you're an Eagles fan, because that was a touchdown that they didn't connect on.
Nice idea, just led him a little bit too far. We'll look at it right here.
Man, too much mustard on that pass right there, because Blake Jones broke open. Just had to hit him. Did not connect. So Ferris will stay out there to hold for Cameron Allen on what will be a 42-yard attempt from the right hash. Allen, kick on its way. You got a good look at it right there, and that kick is no good. A little bit short on the 42-yarder. Connected from 42 last week against Cherokee. Had the accuracy, but not the distance here against Walton tonight, and the score remains 21-3. It's one of the most recognizable tunes on earth, but what really is the party song, Hava Nagila? PBS presents a documentary to finally bring some context and a rich history to the traditional Jewish song we've all heard, with interviews from a variety of celebrities and musicians. You don't want to miss Hava Nagila, the movie, Monday at 8 o'clock right here on the great GPB. Walton with a 21-3 lead now as the Raiders go back on offense and looking to add to their lead. K.K. Brooks on the carry, got tripped up right away by the defensive tackle, Tyke Atkins.
Well, because Walton's, we've changed ends of field, we get a good look right in front of us on this side of the field. The young freshman, Dominic Blaylock, we've been talking about. He's done so much for this Raiders team. Right there in the bottom of your screen, bottom corner, number 1.
And Blaylock has been matched up against Jack Sawyer much of the night. Now they've got Tyree Devison in there, matched up against him, trying to get a better physical matchup there. But that's bad news for Etowah, because with Blaylock running down the field means Devison's going to be running down the field with him. So you wear out Devison on defense, and that helps your defense when he goes back out there on offense.
Exactly.
So you got to wonder how long they can keep Devison running down the field with Blaylock tonight, playing cornerback.
Well, they're really respecting Blaylock's speed, too. They get a look at that. He's playing, 8-9 yards off Blaylock just to get a head start, and he runs downfield. Look at that.
So third down now and 8. Show across the middle. Washington wide open, and he got jarred loose by Blake Jones. Wow, Blake Jones rattled his teeth and knocked the ball out, what would have been a certain first down catch.
As a result, the first incomplete pass for Show all night long. When we're looking at it right here again, right on the money. Great job. But boy, that's just a great stick to knock man from ball.
Yeah, that was a great job by Blake Jones. You're right, because Washington fumbled with it a little bit over his head, couldn't get it down into a secure area quick enough, and Blake Jones took advantage of that by separating him from the ball. Orel Jones, high kick. Fair catch made at the 47-yard line by Jones, who just had the tackle. And so the Eagles go back on offense with 90 seconds left in the half and one last opportunity to get on the scoreboard here before halftime.
There's 90 seconds left, but yeah, that's just a great play right there. Let's see at the defensive stop now. You stop Walton for the first time on defense. Can you get that momentum and turn things around, get the crowd back into it?
Well, if you can score here on this last possession, you're going to get the opening kickoff to start the second half. So you've got double possession, so a great opportunity for Etowah right here to get back in the ballgame. Let's see if they can move the ball. Devison on the delay, and Coney, nice tackle. Devison is a hard guy to bring down one-on-one, but Coney did that right there. Tackle for loss.
Yeah, Hayden Coney, nice job. 5'9" senior. One more look at it right here. Stays with it. Look at that. Shakes off a pair of tacklers. Goes after the ball. Nice job in the defense.
Great job wrapping up that leg and then not letting go. Clock continues to run. We're now under a minute to play here in the second quarter. Ferris. Sis, the catch, first down at the 32-yard line. Eldridge came back to make the tackle. That'll move the sticks. And Etowah still has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, nice job right here again. Just get him outside. Past the linebackers. Great job there. Chris Hall. We're on the move.
Nice catch. Blake Jones spins outside, slips out of a tackle, and moves the sticks again down to the 16-yard line.
What a move. It was almost like a ghost.
Yeah, Blake Jones is a good-looking wide receiver, just a sophomore, standing 6'1", 175.
Yeah, he's coming alive, and so was Etowah. When we look at this right here, just a short pass right here on the flat. Watch this move. Oh. This is Bilal Hefner. Thought he had him.
Blake Jones came into the ball game, team leading 10 catches for 142. He gives them something that Dave Sabela says they don't often have here at Etowah. A guy with some size that can go up and get the ball. They don't always get a physical specimen like that at wide receiver, and he's just a sophomore. Devison on the carry, no place to go. They're going to have to burn a timeout here with 24 seconds.
Like you said, they've got 3 to burn, but yeah, how important is it to get in and not just get a score, but get a touchdown?
Let's check in with Nelly as the Eagles use a timeout.
Time for some more scoring updates. Remember that 9-7 advantage we were talking about with Benedictine being in trouble? It's now 28-9. Benedictine is rolling now. Interesting score out of Cobb County. Wheeler beating Milton right now, 28-7. Other scores, Roswell rolling second quarter as well. We'll have more scores with Mark Harmon at the half. We'll have more scores with me on the sidelines as the game goes on second half. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Nelly. If Wheeler can win tonight, they would be 2-0 in Region 5-6A and tied with whoever wins this ball game for the early lead in this region. There's a look at those Region 5-6A standings with Etowah, Walton, and Wheeler, the only teams that are off to a 1-0 start. Of course, Milton losing tonight, Pope and Roswell. Roswell's another team. We saw them 3 weeks ago here on GPB, rattle Lowndes 35-8. Roswell's another team that's going to be in the mix for the region championship this year. So second down and 10. Ball at the 16. Ferris up top for Jones, and Jones got hit. Flag out. Good call.
Got to play the ball. Got to play the ball. He just went right into Jones. Never looked up, didn't know where the ball was. Pushed him, hit him before the ball even got there.
Yeah, that was the outside linebacker, Taj Stewart, number 6, who ran into him while the ball was in the air.
See, boom. Pushes him down. The ball's not even in your screen yet. Easy call from the referee.
So let's see where they spot the ball. And they will put it at the 8. So second down and 2. Ball at the 8. 17 seconds left in the half. Ferris wants to run it up the middle. And Ferris picks up the first down at the 5. That'll stop the clock to move the chains, and they still have 2 timeouts remaining as well, but they really probably have time for 2 more plays. And they burned their second timeout right there. So So a 1st and goal to go for the Eagles from the 5-yard line with 11 seconds. And Larry, what do you do if you're Dave Savela right here? Do you run the ball? Because if you run the ball, you risk not getting off another play, even if you have one timeout remaining.
Yeah.
So do you run the ball, take one crack at it, run it, try to get the touchdown, don't get it, try for a field goal, or do you pass twice to the end zone?
That's tough. You know, then again, if you feel you've got a play, you can get Devison 5 yards.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Take the run, and then you get one more crack at it as a pass. You know, they haven't done much passing-wise, although they've had a couple of passes here. They've made it happen. I'm almost a guy who gets to try to pass twice. But Devison, if he's healthy.
Mathematically, the smart play is pass twice.
Yeah.
But
how much of a gambler is he?
But in reality, the smart play might be give the ball to Devison.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So let's see what they've decided on 1st and goal to go here from the 5 and 11 seconds left in the half. They're going to pass it. Now they're in trouble. And Ferris needs to get down so they can call a timeout. And now they're going to have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Well, the clock stopped, actually. We're going to go back 4 seconds. So
that is the 4th quarterback sack for the Raiders defense here in the first half.
We've talked about the offense and the passing game of Walton. Boy, the defense has really picked up. As you mentioned before, you really kind of think about where this game would be if Walton's defense hadn't had a pair of offsides in this game. One gave a first down. The other one put them in position to get a first down to keep 2 drives alive for Etowah.
Eldred got the quarterback sack, so he's got a sack in the first half. So does Rooks, Goodman, and Wilson. And that's going to force them to try for another 3-pointer here. Allen was on the money, but not long enough on his last attempt, which was 42 yards. This is going to be a 27-yard attempt from the middle of the field. It's on its way, and it is good. Oh, he somehow missed it.
Wow.
Don't know how he missed it, but he missed from 27 yards. And that is the way the first half ends, with Etowah on their last 2 possessions, Larry, missing golden opportunities to score touchdowns and coming up empty on their field goal attempts. They're down 18 points as they head to the locker room.
Well, that's really, really tough, because that's back-to-back times you've been inside the 5-yard line or inside the 10. That was on the 5. And you come away with less than what you planned. The one field goal they got, they were down at the 2. 3rd down and goal from the 2, and they took a 20-yard loss on a sack. Right there, you're at the 5-yard line. Try to pass. You said, again, the smart play, pass twice. But the defense was, the swarm was right there. That front line, front 7, making that big push for the sack right there to take him out of a touchdown chance, and then you miss the field goal.
But no question, the story of that first half for the Walton Raiders was the freshman, Dominic Blaylock, who had nearly 200 yards of receiving and 2 touchdown catches, and a big reason why the Walton Raiders will head to halftime with a 21-3 lead as we check in with John Nelson down on the field.
Now, you said that you wanted to win the first quarter. You won the first and the second quarter.
Exactly. That's our plan. If we can win the 3rd and the 4th, it's going just the way I planned it. No, I'll tell you what's pretty cool. When your offense coordinator tells you on Tuesday that the first play is going to be a touchdown, that's pretty cool. So anyhow, the boys, the coaches have done a great job with the game plan so far, and we've got a whole nother half. We told our kids that they were 14 points down before we even walked in this place, because this is a proud team, this is a proud community, and we know what we're into. So we're ahead 7-3. That's the way I look at it, and the kids are playing hard. Defense is really – We're not getting off the field. We need to get off the field. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up with us if we don't. But to hold them to about 3 field goal attempts is pretty dad-burn good.
All right, we'll go coach them up for the second half. That's all good. We're good.
Oh, thanks, man.
Wow. We're good. Halftime show. We're going to start. You want to toss to Mark and Jackie? You can. Mark and Jackie are over there.
I don't have to do that hula hoop thing, do I?
No, you don't. All right, we're sending it to y'all. Halftime show starts now.
You know, I want the offensive coordinator, Coach Letton, to buy my lotto ticket tonight. He's predicting touchdowns on the first play of the game.
I know, I like it. I like Coach Dixon's approach of being under 14 before you even start the game. It's a good way to be.
That's absolutely right. All right, coming up on our Football Fridays in Georgia halftime show, we'll hear from John Nelson as he visits all around the state. Plus, we'll have scores from around the state as well.
And Raven Tirado will check in for all the things that are happening on social media. We also have the Mascot Challenge where the Etowah Eagle and the Walton Raider will face off. All of that and more is in store for our halftime show here on GPB, so be sure to not go anywhere. We'll see you in a few.
To be the best teachers we can be, making sure that we provide the opportunities and reach out to the students and guide them in the direction that they need to go. We got to spark their interest and create their vision for where they want to be, and our schools have to be everything for everyone. Teachers, we have to rally around each other, support each other, and make sure that we don't give up before we allow the kids to reach the things that they have interest in.
You exercise. You choose the salad, occasionally. But staying well, physically, financially, emotionally, is hard on your own. So Cigna's got your back and your knees 24/7. Cigna's there to answer your questions, or when you need some coaching. In sickness and in health, Cigna's there, helping you to get well and stay well. That's having a partner who's with you all the way. Cigna.
The new College Football Hall of Fame and Chick-fil-A fan experience puts fans closer to the game experience. Featuring over 30,000 square feet of college football interactive exhibits. Tickets available at cfbhall.com.
Providing safe, affordable, and reliable electricity requires more than bucket trucks and utility poles. These are the faces behind your power. For more than 75 years, Georgia's nonprofit, member-owned electric cooperatives have been on a mission to brighten the lives of more than 4.5 million Georgians. We are Georgia's EMCs, proudly serving our members, lighting the way.
Hi again, everybody. We're in Woodstock, Georgia. We are live at Eagle Stadium as the Etowah Eagles are taking on the Walton Raiders. Right now we are at halftime, and the Walton Raiders lead this game 21-3 right now at the break.
Certainly not what Etowah wanted. They'll look to rebound in the second half. So we want this to be a multi-experience for you guys on all platforms. That includes social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. So to explain all of that and what you guys are saying online, let's send things over to Raven Tirado, our social media correspondent, to check it all out. Raven?
Jackie, everybody is getting hyped for the game. Even Nathan Parrott, he said, at GPB Sports, excited to watch my boys play all the way from Cumberland. Keep the freight train rolling, hashtag Eagle Pride. And then Leroy, he says, woo, let's go Etowah. Beat Walton at GPB Sports. And then we also have Farida at GPB Sports. He's a freshman. Stomp, stomp, stomp. That's talking about that 82-yard touchdown to start off the game. Jackie?
All right, we're going to check out some scores here from all around the state of Georgia. And at halftime outside now, they're honoring all the students and all the teachers that have served our country out here at Etowah High School. Let's check out the scoreboard now on the Georgia EMC scoreboard. We've got Colquitt County ranked #1 in many of the polls, leading Enterprise, Alabama early on by a touchdown, 7-0. Thomasville is at Valdosta tonight, no score in the second quarter. We've got Rockdale County and Lowndes, also no score in the second, or Lowndes is leading now 28-0 in the second quarter. Archer Grayson, that is a huge game. Archer ranked number 2 in the state. Grayson ranked number 4. It's at Grayson. That game tied up now 7-7 in the second quarter. And look at this score. McEachern, ranked number 3, unbeaten. Many people think they're the top team in Class 6A. They lead Peachtree Ridge by a point, a baseball score, 3-2 at the half. Elsewhere around, we've got Roswell leading Lassiter 21-3, that game in the second quarter. We have Lovejoy and Hillgrove 7-7 at the half. Cartersville, ranked number 1 in Class 5A, leading North Paulding 14-0 in the first quarter. Parkview in the Battle of Five Forks Trickham, they lead Brookwood 20-3 in the second quarter. And Marietta at their brand new old stadium, they lead South Cobb 11-0 in the first quarter.
It's going to be an action-packed season here on Football Fridays in Georgia. So here is the schedule brought to you by the Georgia EMC. Next week, we are at Halford Stadium with bonus action. We will televise the end of the Banneker-Miller Grove game and then bring you a great DeKalb County rivalry in Creekside versus Stevenson. The following week, it's Tucker versus MLK, followed by North Gwinnett at Norcross, North Cobb at McEachern, and Valdosta at Colquitt County. The final 3 games of the regular season will be a flex schedule, so we can bring you the best and most important matchups possible. We are with you all the way to the playoffs and then on to the Georgia Dome for the state championship games on December 12th and the 11th and 12th, excuse me. And GPB, of course, is your home for high school football in the state of Georgia. There's a lot to get to before you know it, season's going to be over.
Absolutely. And this game has the feeling of a big playoff game, and it is very important in Region 5A. Both these teams undefeated so far.
Second half, anything can happen in football. We know that for sure.
All right. Coming up on GPB's Football Fridays in Georgia halftime show. More to come. We'll hear from the Etowah Eagles marching band. Plus, John Nelson visits Fort Valley in this week's Backroads and Backfield segment.
Also, Raven Tirado gets the 411 from some proud parents. Plus, we'll have all the scores that you want to know. It's all ahead when the Football Fridays in Georgia halftime show continues right after this on GPB.
Questions can't wait until morning. So I'm one of many nurses at Cigna with answers, anytime, day or night. I'm Lauren, and I've got your back.
Today, companies in the aerospace, advanced manufacturing, and film industries need skilled workers, and the earning potential is high. Go Build Georgia can show you where the jobs are and what skills you need to get them. And the Technical College System of Georgia has fast, affordable training for these great paying careers. Build your blueprint for success at GoBuildGeorgia.com and look to the Technical College System of Georgia to put your plan into action.
It's Jewish.
Monday at 8 on GPB.
Stay connected to your team like never before with the GPB Sports Football app. Get the latest news. Watch featured games live wherever you are.
Finds a hole. Look at that. Look at that.
Find relevant info on schools and take interactive 3D tours of stadiums around the state. Tweet game highlights from the stands and get up-to-the-minute scores all Friday night. The Gridiron has gone digital. Download the free GPB Sports Football app from the iTunes App Store now.
As a strong, stable bank, Regions is always looking for opportunities to boost the vitality of our communities. In addition to offering financial solutions for our customers, we are committed to supporting local initiatives and organizations that help our neighborhoods thrive. Regions is proud to be a partner with GPB in building a better Georgia.
I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
She's perfectly healthy.
Cigna covers preventive care. That's having your back.
Welcome back to Football Fridays in Georgia's halftime show. We are live at Etowah High School, live at Eagle Stadium, and right now the Walton Raiders are leading the Etowah Eagles by a score of 21-3.
And high school football, the band is such a huge part of the pageantry and the tradition of high school football. So we're going to listen in right now to the sounds of the Etowah Marching Band, brought to you by Regions Bank. Let's listen in.
And that's the Etowah Eagles Marching Band, brought to you by Regions Bank. Great job there. Time now to check in with the principal at the principal's office, and who is always there but our John Nelson and the principal of Etowah High School, Keith Ball. John?
Yeah, it's time for me to be in the principal's office. I know it's a place I'm at a lot of the time, and it comes just especially out of high school. Time to catch up with Keith and do a round of Are You Smarter? Lisa, if you would please. So I have the question here in the sealed envelope. It is sealed. I'm going to hand you the microphone so I can tear this open. I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. Neither of us have seen it. So if I can open this. Okay, here's the question. All right, as I open the index card. Which Republican presidential candidate spent some of his formative years in military school? Was it A, Mike Huckabee, B, Donald Trump, or C, Marco Rubio?
I'm going to go with the Trump.
That is correct, sir, and we have a tag to this, is what we call it in TV. Trump attended New York Military Academy, according to the New York Times. It was an expensive prep school where his parents sent him to correct poor behavior. As you just nod your head.
I'll refrain from comment.
As well. Thanks for hanging out, Keith. Thanks for being a great host. We'll send it back over to Mark and Jackie for more.
You never
Keith
know
Ball's
what these
been awesome.
That's
He's
right.
such a good guy. I love it.
All the folks here at Etowah have been really outstanding in helping us put this broadcast on.
Absolutely. And now things are going to get really interesting. We're going to send things over to Raven Tirado, who's got two mascots. The Etowah Eagle, the Walton Raider, are going to face off in what we call our mascot challenge. Raven?
There's nothing like a good mascot duel to go down. You guys ready? You guys are kind of docile. You're not going to like talk anything to each other? All right, anyway. What they're going to do, they're going to spin 5 times here, do a little dizzy bat action, go to the table, get 3 balls, throw it through the hoop, and then run to the finish line. Winner gets bragging rights. All right, guys, you ready to go? Let's count this thing down. 1, 2, 3, go! Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, oh, look! The Eagles got it. No, this... All right, here we go, here we go. We got 1 through the hoop. Oh, I see you, Walton Raider. That was like 5. Okay, going through the. Oh no, here we go. We got a challenge. Wait, what's going? We have a winner. It looks like the Etowah Eagle is the winner. I wonder if this is who the winner of the game is going to be. Mark, Jackie.
I thought the Walton Eagle had a pretty, or the Walton Raider had a pretty good idea. So all the balls at once.
I know. That's a good tactic. Maybe, though, foreshadowing what's to come in the second half. Etowah Eagle coming out on top. We'll see.
We'll have to see. Well, it's time now to join John Nelson. He joins us for another edition of Backroads and Batfields, brought to you by
the Georgia Cotton Commission.
All right.
The natural choice
for Georgia. That's right. And you've traveled to Fort Valley for this story about a coaching family.
And when you have a family that is as tight as the Campbells are, you know what Central Georgia football means to them. And we now have 2 Campbells, 1 staff, 1 school, and 1 town.
Lee Campbell coached Hawkinsville to back-to-back state titles in 2003 and 2004. Then brother Chad gave the family an encore in 2009.
Snap. Fires. End zone. Batted away. Kroll knocked it down. And the Trojans win the 3A title.
It's the first time brothers could have their names tied to being head coaches and winning championships. Now Lee and Chad are together in Fort Valley on Chad's staff at Peach County.
I could have hired anybody I wanted to, but, you know, you get 2 in 1. You get somebody you love and care about, and then you get a great football coach. So it's been wonderful. I mean, I can't put it into words.
Well, I've always wondered about it. It's like I've always been here, because whenever I had a chance, I'd come watch practice. If we were off, if we had an open date, or they were in, when I say they were in the playoffs, they're always in the playoffs. I came to the playoff games, so it's new to me, but it's not really new to me.
I don't know who's more intense. I think he might be a little bit more laid back than me. I don't know. Someone that used to beat up on you when you were growing up, and now, but you have different personalities on each staff. Everybody's a little different, and we're a little different. So, as kids say, we got one mean Coach Campbell and one not so mean Coach Campbell.
The goal, obviously, is one a head coach always has, and now both of them have it for Peach, winning titles, or in the Campbell's case, a 4th title, but with a twist, of course.
That would be pretty neat for us to be able to do it. We did it separately and be able to do it together. But that's always our goal. Year in and year out, that's going to be our goal. But that would be real special.
Mark, 2 good dudes right there with Lee and Chad. And, Fort Valley, tremendous pedigree now with coaches. It'll be interesting to see how the Trojans come out this season with 2 Campbells on the staff. 2 Campbells instead of 1.
I don't believe that either one of those is the mean Coach Campbell.
Depends on game day or not game day.
All right, Backroads and Backfields brought to you by the Georgia Cotton Commission.
The natural choice for Georgia.
All right, time now for our career play of the game, presented by the Technical College System of Georgia.
Manufacturing or construction industry? Get a free education in precision manufacturing or welding and joining at the Technical College System of Georgia. Workers in manufacturing and construction are urgently needed in Georgia. Manufacturing and construction are urgently needed in Georgia. A free education in 10 high-demand industries awaits you at the Technical College System of Georgia. Change your life. tcsg.edu.
And now it's time for a round of what we like to call Rent Check, where we check in with some of the parents of the star athletes down there on the high school football field. And to take that away and to give us all the information on that is Raven Tirado. Raven?
Hey guys, I'm here with Stuart Head's family. He's number 17 for the Etowah Eagles. And we're going to ask you guys some questions to see how well you know your brother and your son. And we'll start off with the oldest brother. What is his favorite music to listen to before a game?
I'd have to say the artist Future or Waka Flocka Flame.
Okay, well, I mean, you really gave detail. He said hard rap. Okay, all right. We'll take that as a win. All right, Mom. His favorite social media outlet?
Snapchat.
Ooh, he said Twitter. All right, Dad. Place he wants to go to most?
What was that?
The place he wants to go to most.
Oh, the San Francisco Bay.
He said Hawaii. All right, and we'll end on you on a good note. Pre-game ritual.
Oh, gosh. Peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Talk to my parents, eat PBJs, and get hyped with my team. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. All right, guys, you got some passes to the College Football Hall of Fame. Jackie, Mark, back to you.
Sounds good. The family that comes and roots together stays together.
I know. I like that segment. That's a lot of fun. You find out who the kids are a little bit, you know?
Right. PB&J, can't go wrong there. Coming up, it's time to send it back up to the booth. Matt and Larry's got the call for the second half. Take it away, fellas.
Mark, Jackie, appreciate that. Exciting first half for the Walton Raiders. The coming out party, if you will, for spectacular freshman Dominic Blaylock, who had 200 yards worth of receiving, 2 touchdown catches in the first half. And I guess as we look ahead to the second half, Larry, the question will be, can they stop Blaylock, Etowah, and can Etowah get something going on offense other than field goal attempts?
Yeah, well, and to finish what you started, they're doing a good job between the 20s. They can get down inside the 10, but then that Walton defense comes up strong. They've done it a number of times. I was just trying to text Blaylock's first half stat line to a friend, and I had to stop and reread it. I'm like, that can't be right. Really? 200 yards and a half, and had a 63-yard touchdown called back by a holding penalty as a freshman?
And when Mo Dixon talked to John Nelson going off into the locker room at the end of the first half, he told us that Bill Letton, his offensive coordinator, told him on Tuesday that they would score a touchdown on the very first play. And I think that's kind of been one of the stories within the stories, is that Letton has done a great job of play calling, and Etowah has been on their heels the entire game, not knowing what's coming next. So we see what happens in the second half. We'll take a look at the highlights, the stats, and get the third quarter going when we get back.
Nothing prepares you better for a great career than the Technical College System of Georgia. TCSG colleges produce graduates with the knowledge and training today's top employers are looking for. With campuses across Georgia, state-of-the-art facilities, and outstanding instructors with real-world experience, it's the kind of affordable college education that will fast-track you into a rewarding career. We're building a better future for you. Contact the TCSG college in your area today or go to tcsg.edu.
You exercise. You choose the salad, occasionally. But staying well, physically, financially, emotionally, is hard on your own. So Cigna's got your back and your knees 24/7. Cigna's there to answer your questions. Or when you need some coaching. In sickness and in health, Cigna's there, helping you to get well and stay well. That's having a partner who's with you all the way. Cigna.
What is by moonlight an empty field is by the magic of electricity sacred ground. As the official energy provider of the GHSA, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives proudly support our student athletes. We are there, illuminating the glory moments fans just have to see. Capturing the hustle, elevating champions, sharing the win. Georgia's EMCs, empowering our youth, lighting the way.
Start of the third quarter, Walton with a 21-3 lead on Etowah. As we start the second half, the Eagles will get the kickoff to begin this third quarter. Matt Stewart along with Larry Smith and John Nelson. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Very first play from scrimmage for the Walton Raiders. Shope up top to Blaylock, 82 yards. Jones missed an open field tackle, and it was just a sprint from there.
Yeah, 83 yards, and we thought, oh, what a nice play. Little did we know what was in store for the rest. And this is the play we talked about earlier. Again, they were going back and back on the third down on their own 2-yard line. And again, it's Blaylock to the rescue, 35-yard pickup. That sets up this up top to their big tight end right there.
Sam Letton down to the 10-yard line.
And then guess who?
And then Blaylock again, wide open, got behind the corner. That was a 45-yard reception and a 21-3 lead. As we check in with John Nelson, who's standing by with Etowah coach Savela.
Thank you very much, Matt. Here with the coach. Biggest message you told him at the half was what?
We just need to execute better. You know, we've had the ball in scoring position 3 times, and all we've got is 3 points. We've had some breakdowns in some crucial down and distance situations, and you know, I feel like at times, a lot of the time, we move the ball well, but we can't have those breakdowns. We just execute better.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Send it upstairs. Matt and Larry, let's get the second 24 kick.
All right, Nelly, as you take a look at the first half stats, Walton with 253 total yards, all but 4 of those coming through the air, and most of that to Blaylock, and only 96 total yards for Etowah in that first half.
It's just impressive. Only 8 minutes of possession, and that's what Coach was talking about. They've had the ball, almost double what Walton did. They could move the ball down the field, just couldn't punch it in. But you look again at the passing yards right there, 249, and we say again they had a 63-yard touchdown pass that was called back by a holding penalty. So as lopsided as those stats are, they're one penalty call away from being gigantically lopsided.
Once again, the most overrated stat in all of football, the time of possession stat, double time of possession for Etowah, 15:36 to Walton's 8:24, but they're losing by 18 points.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how long you had the ball. What'd you do with it when you had it?
So Nicorel Jones ready to kick off for Walton here as we have completed halftime. Walton looking for a 4-0 start to the season. Trying to bounce back after going 2-8 last year. They were actually 5-5 on the field. They had to forfeit their 3-0 start a year ago when they inadvertently had an ineligible player on the roster. It actually was a player that had hardly played at all, but it cost them 3 victories. They had to self-report. Mohamed Salam takes the ball at the 16-yard line. His last return was a 26-yarder up to the 50. This is a 19-yard return for Salam up to the 35, so that's where the Eagles will begin their first possession of the third quarter.
Yeah, watch this. Now, if you're Walton, this is what you want to do to start the second half right there. Big hit there, and then boom.
And that's really the other part of the story for Walton. We've concentrated on Blaylock and Shope and their combination, but 4 quarterback sacks for this Walton defense in the first half as well.
Yeah.
They've had Ferris on the run most of the night. Ferris running option here. Bad pitch back to Devison, and that's trouble. And Hayden Coney going to drop him. Rooks got there first, and then Coney finishes him off, and that's a big loss for the Eagles on their first play of the second half.
Well, it's almost like Etowah starts off the second half running uphill. Watch this right here. Tough decision by the sophomore. That's just a bad flip, almost a fumble. Good job by Devison to corral that ball and to keep it from being an even larger loss or worse, a turnover and maybe 6 the other way.
7-yard loss. 2nd and 17 from the 28. Ferris wings it out here, complete to Oliver, the tight end, and Oliver gets dropped at the 31-yard line. Rogie on the tackle, as well as Taj Stewart.
6 and 20 for Walton on the tackle.
Oliver with his second catch of the season. Very little pickup on the play, about 4 yards, 3rd and 13 now.
Well, this is now tough territory for Etowah. They've not had a lot of success tonight in the passing game. They've got to go downfield. And you've got to get some kind of protection there up front, because right now that Walton defensive front is just really controlling the line of scrimmage.
Remember, this is an Etowah offensive line that graduated 3 Division I signees from a year ago. Ferris to the air and incomplete at the 47-yard line, trying to get the ball to Devison, who has only 1 catch on the year, not usually a big part of their passing game. And it's 4th down and a 3-and-out for the Eagles to start the second half.
Yeah, Ferris was wide on that throw, but boy, he had great protection as his fullback picked up the charging linebacker to give him a little bit extra time to try to get that pass off. But now, again, if Etowah, back to your defense now to try to find a way to stop these weapons on this Walton offense.
Blaylock standing at the 34-yard line to receive the kick, pardon me, and he makes the fair catch at the 38. And let's hear what Mo Dixon had to say to his team before the Raiders took the field here at Eagle Stadium.
Well, listen, this is what we asked for. Top 10 state, 3-0. We said we had to get to 3-0 to get to work. All right? You're playing a very hungry, a very proud football team here at home, very physical. And here's the deal. And you listen to me. We're going to play 4 games tonight. Playing 4 games.
Well, playing 4 games, they've won 2 already, and now they start their 3rd. Shope, handoff, KK Brooks, who's not been a big part of the game plan tonight. Brooks picks up 3 yards on the play to the 41.
Yeah, hasn't had many touches in this game. Maybe his only 4th, 5th carry, and not very many. I mean, he's really been unbelievable.
Brooks, a 4-year starter, committed to Penn. When they first approached Mo Dixon about KK, they said he probably was not as fast as they were looking for, but then he got the big test score, and that didn't matter anymore. Shope on the carry. Nice open field tackle right there by Alan Michael Harris to keep Shope from picking up the first down.
Harris, a 5'11 junior. Nice job there in the open field. I talked about Brooks, 6 yards, 6 carries for him, but again, right now, just hold on to the ball, keep moving.
The one guy that really we have not talked about hardly at all tonight for Etowah is their top prospect, Stuart Head, the safety. Walton has done a great job of keeping him away from the ball. You'll see him lined up right there at the 48-yard line, directly across from Sam Letton, who's lined up on the right hash for the Raiders. Here comes a blitz. Show in trouble, scrambles away from it, gets rid of it, throws it into traffic for Washington. He was lucky that that was not intercepted, and it's going to be 4th down.
And that was a real dangerous pass right there. Good coverage, by the way, on Blaylock. It's his primary receiver at the bottom of your screen. But look at this. Nice athletic move here to get out of trouble. Almost a sack, but then, boy, collects himself and throws it right into trouble. Gets a little hit there. Maybe a little bit of a late hit. But 2 gray shirts right there. That could have been a pick 6 the other way.
Yeah, Devison got his hands on it. So Nick Orell-Jones standing at his 28 to kick, and Blake Jones back at his 27 to receive. Jones waves fair catch, makes it at the 28. It's been said that he shaped American culture in the 20th century more than any other single person. He created some of the most beloved characters, changed the world of animation, and conceived the world's first theme park. GPB is proud to present a sweeping 2-night film from American Experience on Walt Disney. It starts Monday at 9 on GPB. So Etowah back on offense for the second time in this quarter from their own 27, and Devison right up the middle, and Devison cranks out about a 10-yard gain. Actually, Trey Moore was what I believe was his first carry of the night. Moore, their number 2 tailback, with 164 yards rushing in his first 3 games. Picked up 10 on the play. Did they give him 10? Is it a first down?
First down.
It is a 10-yard pickup and a 1st and 10. New set of downs from the 38.
Wait for the change to move. There they go, finally. A little slow.
You noticed here on the very first defensive series for Etowah, they had Moore lined up against Dominic Blaylock. So it looks like they're going to try to rotate Devison and Moore on him, which is going to impact the running game as well. That looked like that might have been a lateral to Blake Jones on the screen play. He turns it into positive yards. He gets 8 on the play, up to the 46.
That might be the best back-to-back plays on offense we've seen all night for the Eagles.
18 consecutive yards right there, a 10 and an 8-yard pickup, and Jones goes to the sideline a little shaken up.
He and Devison both are on the sidelines. That's not good.
No.
The Etowah offense.
No. They need both those guys on the field at all times. So Moore will line up at the tailback position. And Sisk came in for Blake Jones, and that's Sisk in motion. Moore on the carry. Nice run by Moore. Another first down. Second first down carry for Trey Moore as Moore gets across the 50 down to the 46.
Well, nice job in this series by the Etowah offensive line. Watch this, the blocking up front coming right into your living room. Number 40 right there, the fullback with a big block. It's Vincent Riley did a nice job to free him up.
Moore looks like he gives him a little bit more of a burst there.
Yeah.
5'8", 165, not quite as thick as Devison, but maybe has a little bit more wiggle, a little more quick acceleration in the hole.
Well, it's those white shoes is what it is. Gives you a little extra speed.
They are bright.
Like my porch for those things.
Moore again, not this time. He got smothered by Bennett Wilson. Loss of yardage on that play. Wilson with a sack and now a tackle for loss in this game.
And go to the run yet again. This time they were ready for it. Boy, just a great instinct right there. Work through the block, be in the backfield to greet the ball carrier. Let him come to you. It's the easy way to get it done.
This Walton defense has been impressive. Remember, Mo Dixon was the longtime defensive coordinator for Bob Spire at North Gwinnett, and defensively they just weren't what he was accustomed to as a coach. His second year as a head coach, more like it. Moore runs, Rooks drops him. Jason Rooks again. About a 3-yard pickup, brings up a 3rd and 10. Rooks again. Rooks came into the ball game leading the Walton defensive line with 18 tackles. He's been offered by USF. He's just a junior, a good-looking kid at 6'3", 220, but I don't know if he's ever going to play college football. Currently ranked as the number 68 prospect in the entire nation in the 2017 Major League Baseball amateur draft. That would make him a second-round pick
Ferris in trouble again.
Throws to the sideline. That is an incompletion. And
good job there by the Walton secondary.
Slow to get up, the receiver. I'm trying to see who that was. That was Blake Jones. He had just recently gone to the sideline shaken up. Looks like whatever was bothering him a few moments ago is still bothering him.
Boy, that's tough because he does so much for this team. Special teams, obviously, again, as a receiver. You saw right there that still Dennison was still on Devison still on the sidelines as well. That's not good. And again, we saw him come out and play a lot of defensive back trying to shut down the young Blaylock for Walton. So we'll see on the defensive side if he's back in the game.
Low snap. Allen gets a boomer off. Hits at the 15 and kicks inside the 5. They'll spot it actually at the 6. Allen making chicken salad out of that one right there. Got off a great kick and pins Walton deep with 5:22 to play in the third quarter.
This moment, getting here took 3 years of sleepless nights and postponed vacations. Your dad said play it safe. Your husband kept the faith. But franchising is why you partnered with Regions in the first place. We share your vision for moving forward. And at moments like this,
Hi, Steve.
that makes all the difference. Is your business at a turning point? Regions.
The insurance industry is a relationship business. I try to be out in the community, as much as I possibly can. We're local agents in the community. We're part of the community.
I love doing business in the town that I live in. My clients are my friends.
They can just step in my office and say hello. That's very important to me.
We want to be available to them in case they need us.
You get a lot of reward personally going home at night knowing that you've taken care of folks.
Welcome back, 5:22 for the third here on Eagle Mountain. Let's go through some of the scores that are happening around the state that you can pick up on gpb.org and the GPB Sports app. Ware County leading Coffee right now by the score of 17-7. That's in the third quarter. Also, Marietta beating South Cobb 14-6. Lakeside back and forth with Campbell. That one right now is 34-33 Lakeside. Hillgrove leading Lovejoy 17-7. And an intriguing score from South Georgia. Valdosta and Thomasville, guys, they are scoreless. A defensive battle. Leroy Riles has the Bulldogs ready for this one. And a tough contest for Rance Gillespie coming out of Region 1-6A. We'll have more scores as we go. Send it back upstairs.
All right, Nelly, we'll see Valdosta here on GPB coming up on October 16th when we travel to Moultrie, Georgia, and the Wildcats travel north to take on the defending state champion Colquitt County Packers. So 1st and 10, ball at the 6-yard line for Walton as they are still up by 18 points and take the ball for the second time in this half. KK Brooks. Not much doing for KK right there. Ryan Cayo making the tackle. Brings up a 2nd down and 9. We started the night, Larry, by asking the question, which one of these teams is Walton back to where they were back in 2011 when they played in the state championship game? It's been a rough couple of years. They haven't won a state playoff game since losing to Grayson in the Georgia Dome back in 11. There's the run by KK Brooks, and Brooks is up across the 16 and has a 1st down. In Etowah, of course, semifinals a year ago, best season ever in school history. Where are they? Well, so far, as we're nearing the end of this third quarter, I think Walton looks closer to being back to where they were than Etowah being where they were last year.
Yeah, I agree because, again, this score, could be 28-3 very easily. And right now, they're content to run some clock. Not really looking to be in a hurry. A lot of runs. As long as that clock keeps running, this has been a very quick third quarter.
I think we're going to see a lot of KK Brooks here in this second half. But Shope to the air, and he's got Washington who makes the grab. And Washington has a 1st down. More dropsing, but that's a 1st down at the 35-yard line.
Washington, he really doesn't mind. Bryce Washington does not mind at all. So check the replay, going across him, and watch this. Again, I'm really impressed with the Walton passing game. Nice timing. Every single ball is right on the money. Only 2 incompletions the entire night. Goes up, makes a nice grab, brings it down, tucks it under. Nice gain.
4th catch of the season for Washington, a 1st and 10 from the 35. blitz coming. They pick it up, and they run it right in the hole where the blitz got picked up. And Brooks up to the 39-yard line, picked up 4 before Tyke Atkins made the tackle.
Well, we talked about in the first half, we've not heard call the name of Dominic Blaylock, the star freshman receiver, having just a monster game in the first half. Number one, almost 100 or almost 200 yards of passing, receiving in the first half. You see at the bottom of your screen right there, ever since they moved number 5 right there on defense, Devison against him, they have not gone his direction.
Yeah.
So let's see, let's continue to follow that and see if they try to get the ball to him here in this series.
That was an adjustment that they were slow to make in the first half before Blaylock racked them up with 200 yards of receiving. Shope gets rid of it just in time, and Washington downfield makes the grab at the 34. Second consecutive big-time catch by Bryce Washington as the Raiders punch it into the Eagles' territory again.
That's just a great timing play. Right? Watch him here, the young quarterback going through his progressions. Under pressure, that's a tough throw to make. Tough catch to make as well. Nice job by these two. We talked in the pregame about, again, trying to watch the tight end, Letton, Sam Letton, the star senior. But at the same time, if you can't focus on him, the other guys will kill you. And we're seeing these two receivers just having big games tonight.
Ball 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Shope on the carry. And Shope about 8 or 9 yards down to the 25-yard line. Shope, the junior, in his second season in this starting quarterback. He took over for Josh White about midway through last year. Of course, Bill Letton, the offensive coordinator. Another big change they made is they brought in Brett Sloan from Burns to be their new quarterback coach, and Sloan has teamed up with Letton, and that has had a big positive impact on Shope's development. So 2nd down and 1, ball at the 25-yard line. Plenty of time for Shope, and that's Blaylock. Blaylock, 3rd touchdown of the night.
I think he was already down. We're going to try to check the replay here in a moment. I'm sure they're going to give that to Blaylock. But again, the freshman, unbelievable. 3 touchdown catches and makes it look so easy. Walton well in control of this game right now over the Eagles. What a show by this freshman.
That is some kind of performance right there.
So he goes over the 200-yard mark in receiving yards tonight.
Well, you're finding out what SEC coaches already knew, that this kid could play. I mean, he had offers from Georgia, South Carolina, Auburn, and Kentucky before he started the 9th grade. Orel Jones with the PAT, 28-3. Take a look at the TCSG touchdown replay.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, look at this right here. Shope knows, again, you've seen Washington, a couple of big catches. Hasn't even looked Blaylock's direction in the second half, but he dials in on him early on right there. Perfect toss. You're not going to get it from that point on. 224 yards now, receiving, 3 touchdowns coming right at you right here. Blaylock, you wonder again, boy, how can you lose this guy? But he's got nice speed, nice hands. He's got the mature kind of play of a junior or a senior. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a perfect time on the leap. Not too high. Soft hands. Easy catch the ball. Tucks it in. There's no wasted motion in what he does. And just smart instincts once he gets the ball. He turns right. Look at that young baby face.
Looks like you, Larry.
Yeah.
Got a young baby face, clean cut.
Once upon a time when I had hair, absolutely.
Sharp-looking young man, and he can play 224 yards receiving, capping a 7-play, 94-yard drive. The big challenge for Dominic is going to be what's going to happen. I mean, 4 SEC offers before he started 9th grade.
Yeah.
He's got 4 more years of high school football, counting this year, in front of him. There's going to be a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of recruiting. There's going to be a lot of camps.
Yep.
He's going to have to change his phone.
Yep.
He's going to have to do the Tom Brady. Change his phone out every 4 months.
Smash the phone.
Yeah,
Smash the phone.
it.
Yeah, when you change it.
Get rid of it. It's going to be crazy for this young man.
Yeah.
And how they handle that is going to be big.
Yeah.
Return there by Sawyer. The interesting thing is the Blaylock family is used to this. His mother and his stepfather have been through this before with Darren and Zach, not to the extent that they're going to experience with Dominic. but Darren and Zach are very good ball players who are now at Kentucky. Dominic's is gonna change the dynamic there on the recruiting chart.
No question.
Because of what's about to happen with this guy. That's already happening. I mean, he had an offer to go. He had an offer to go up there to participate in summer camp with Urban Meyer in Ohio State and turned it down.
Yeah.
And and I was talking to Bo Dixon about that. Him turning it down. I said, "Well, that was very smart. Want to no." He goes, "He just didn't want to go." He's because he wanted to go to the pool.
Sure.
Go to the movies, hang out with his boys, and maybe meet a girl there, whatever. You know, I mean. I guess you can do that when you're 14,
I guess so. Yeah.
Not too young.
Yeah. But he's got time for all that, and that's smart. Enjoy these years.
Rex Steiner with the carry, bowls his way across the 50-yard line and down to the 44. Big carry by Bronson Rex Steiner.
Yeah, I like this effort right here. Again, you just got the defense getting beat up again, but great blocking. Watch it here. Nice job right there by Devison to clear some space. And he does all the rest. That's just a great run, great team effort to make a big play right here for Etowah. Trying to get back in this game.
So Rex Steiner will take a rest as he gets him a first down in Walton territory at the 44-yard line, but time really a big factor now for the Eagles. They are down 25 points and just a little more than a quarter to go. Pass off the mark intended for Blake Jones, who is struggling. He's been moving quite gingerly here in the second half. A little nicked up. But it's going to take in order for them to come back and win, it's going to take more than offense. You're going to have to get some turnovers from Walton because Walton's going to sit on that ball and take the air out of it with KK Brooks. And then when you load up the box to try to stop that, then you got one-on-one with Blaylock or Letton. And Letton hasn't even, and it's incorrect to say that Letton has not been a factor in this game. Letton has been a big factor in this game because they've had to account for Letton, which means Blaylock's had one-on-one coverage.
Exactly.
And that's why Blaylock has 224 yards received.
Well, like you talked before, we haven't heard much from Head, from Stuart Head, the star junior defensive back for Etowah, because he's lined up. He's the primary guy. He's shadowing where Letton goes. Well, you take your best defender away. He shuts down Letton. That's great. But guess what? You've got Blaylock having a career night as a freshman. Washington's had 3 or 4 nice catches, athletic catches. And again, we haven't heard much from Brooks, but he's been effective when he gets the ball. So you got to pick your poison.
So Devison comes up short on the 3rd down and 5 carry. It's going to be 4th down and a long one coming up for Etowah, and they're going to have to go for it here, no question.
13 minutes left to go in the game. You have no choice here.
If they're going to have any chance for a miracle comeback, it's going to start by picking up a first down right here. Remember, Ferris was successful in drawing Walton off sides twice in the first half. To the air, knocked down, coverage by Hoskins out there. Assist the intended target, and the ball goes over on downs.
Well, nice defensive stop here by Walton. Yet again. Again, you didn't have your star running back Devison in the game. Moore was in instead.
Well, we're seeing a big story kind of develop here in front of us on GPB tonight, and that is the return of the Walton Raiders. 14-1 in 2011. Played for the state championship before losing to Robert Kimdichie in that crew, the Grayson Rams, in the 2011 title game. But since that time, they are only 18-17, 21-14 on the field when you factor in those 3 forfeits they had to give up last year. But either way, they have not been the program the last 3 years that they were in 11.
Okay.
But tonight, they're showing signs that they're back at that level. They're getting close to it. KK Brooks dropped what would have been a touchdown.
Well, you talk about Shope, the quarterback. He's got a 300-yard passing night, but you take that play and the touchdown that was called back, he'd be at 400 yards. He's done whatever he wants to do tonight.
31 seconds left in the third quarter. Brooks just missed a touchdown. And that's been another, even though that play does not indicate it, he's been a factor in their passing game this year, much more so than he's been in the past. Again across the middle. Washington, another nice catch by Bryce Washington, who has 3 catches here in the third quarter alone after only 4 catches in the first 3 games.
Yeah, Washington, the senior, says, listen, young man Blaylock, don't steal all my thunder. It's my year. I'm a senior. Look at this. Again, just a perfect throw. I can't believe the timing that Shope has put on every single ball. He hasn't been off target or ahead or behind any receiver the entire night. His worst pass was the catch by Letton, kind of threw behind him. Letton made the athletic play to kind of grab it from his back hip and turn the backward spin and draw it in for a large score and set up another touchdown.
4 catches total for Washington tonight for 73 yards. And for opposing defensive coordinators, that's a scary thought, because you shut down Letton, you shut down Blaylock, and you still got to deal with Washington and Brooks and Shope. And Walton has so many offensive weapons, and they can get it done on defense too, as Mo Dixon's crew has 4 quarterback sacks tonight and a dominating 28-3 lead as we head to the fourth quarter.
Questions can't wait until morning. So I'm one of many nurses at Cigna with answers, anytime, day or night. I'm Lauren, and I've got your back.
Cotton contributes $2.5 billion to the state's economy annually. It takes more than 60 cotton gins and manufacturers to bring cotton into our everyday lives. Kids always like to stay in the pool a little too long, and when they do get out, covered in goosebumps, you feel the urge to wrap them up. The cozy embrace of cotton does the job. Cotton, the natural choice for Georgia.
A teacher is a promise that will spark and ignite the will to aspire to greatness in every child, rich, poor, tall, short, smart, and smart-mouthed. You teach because you have a vision that will spark in every child a will to succeed. You see, what you do each and every day is so important because it protects our most precious asset, students.
I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
She's perfectly healthy.
Cigna covers preventive care. That's having your back.
Start of the fourth quarter. Matt Stewart, Larry Smith, John Nelson, and the GPB Army with you at Eagle Stadium in Woodstock. It's been all Walton through the first 36 minutes. 28-3. Mo Dixon looks like he'll pick up his 6th victory as a head coach of the Raiders, taking over last year. But 15 years overall as a head coach. He coached at North Broward, Florida Prep, Hazard, Kentucky High School, not Central Kentucky High School. Became known to folks here in the Atlanta area when he came to Atlanta with Bob Spire, defensive coordinator at North Gwinnett last year. Prior to Walton, he was defensive coordinator at Burns High School with Coach Bentley over there in Spartanburg, South Carolina. You saw his personality when you talked to John Nelson there at halftime. He's a character. He's a fun guy to work with. And I'm sure more fun when they're winning. They got a good chance to be 4-0 after this next 12 minutes is over. Shope on the run, first down. slides under at the 30-yard line. Devison got to him, but that's a first down run for Shope.
Yeah, nice play right there. Again, looking up, and good job by the Etowah defense. Lock down his receivers, force him on the run. A lot of open space right there. Good pickup.
You know, one of the forgotten guys here tonight, you know, with Shope having taken over at quarterback, is Josh White, who's one of the, you know, higher-rated prospects on this Walton team. Run by K.K. Brooks. Brooks, first down, across the 20, down close to the 18-yard line. But Josh White, number 3, backup tight end, backup defensive end. We haven't even called his name at all tonight, and he's got offers to play in the SEC as a quarterback. I mean, Dan Mullins offered him as a quarterback at Mississippi State. He's got an offer to be a tight end at Troy, and passed for over 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns last year, but kind of a forgotten man right now.
And Brooks, meanwhile, 10 carries now, 42 yards, as they're willing just to let this clock run as much as possible. Well, why not? You keep running the ball and keep getting first downs. If it ain't fixed, ain't broke, don't fix it.
Letton in motion. Shope hit as he throws, complete. And Blaylock inside the 5-yard line, and another first down.
He finally tackled him.
But he still got off the pass.
Sure.
He still picked up a first down.
Yeah. Down to the 3 now. Watch this here. Just a great job by Shope of getting rid of the ball right here. All kinds of pressure in the grass. Tosses it. Blaylock, good hands. When he's got the ball, he's so shifty, you just think he's going to find a way into the end zone.
First and goal to go for the Raiders. Brooks in.
Brooks in for a Walton touchdown.
Brooks takes it in from 4 yards out. His first touchdown run of the night and his 8th of the season. And it is 34-3.
I just don't know quite what to say. This has been just a really impressive showing by the Walton Raiders.
Yeah, they have beaten Etowah in just about every way possible. They've been more physical, they've been faster, they've been bigger, stronger, they've been everything. Orel Jones with the PAT, and it's 35-3. That was an 8-play, 64-yard drive. Walton and Mo Dixon going to be 4-0 after tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, high school on Eagle Mountain.
The new College Football Hall of Fame and Chick-fil-A Fan Experience puts fans closer to the game experience. Featuring over 30,000 square feet of college football interactive exhibits. Tickets available at cfbhall.com.
You exercise. You choose the salad, occasionally. But staying well, physically, financially, emotionally, is hard on your own. So Cigna's got your back and your knees 24/7. Cigna's there to answer your questions, or when you need some coaching. In sickness and in health, Cigna's there, helping you to get well and stay well. That's having a partner who's with you all the way. Cigna.
American flag flying at half staff here on this 9/11 Remembrance Day. A day that Americans will not soon forget.
I was up in our nation's capital this morning. Matt doing my show up there, and it was something else. It's exactly 6:46. They unfurled the flag at the Pentagon, just they did 14 years ago. The firefighters, President and Mrs. Obama coming out for a moment of silence here in the South Lawn of the White House. Pentagon ceremony later, and of course in New York every year, the annual reading of all the names of those people who lost their lives. And new visitor center up in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, up there for the commemorate the 40 people who lost their lives on board that flight. And what great heroism. The spirit of America just refused to let that plane being taken over, overtaking the terrorists bringing that plane down and saving hundreds, maybe thousands of lives that they had carried out their mission.
Ball falls in no man's land. Etowah's got to get on top of that thing. I don't think they did. I think the Raiders have recovered.
Yeah, I think they have. Now the coaches are right there all over. Let's see if they held on to it underneath this pile.
Etowah was slow to react to that kick.
There it is, call.
Almost as if they had forgotten that is a live ball once it goes 10 yards, and Walton has recovered. That is the first turnover of the ball game for Etowah.
Let's check out the end of the play here if we can, Matt, on the replay. Now watch this. Ball's in the air. Like you said, once it's down, that's a free ball right there. Slow to the ball.
That was Bryce Washington. I believe Christian Sullivan was the guy who got on top of that live ball.
And that's just one. That's just awareness, understanding the rules of the game. Ball like that, you've got to be the one to get it because it's a free ball.
And that's just Walton still being in the game and Etowah checking out.
Yeah,
quite frankly.
And unfortunately, you're right. Well, there's a lot to go over right now for Coach Vela and the Etowah team. Been impressed by the weapons of Walton here as we're still 10:51 to go in this.
So let's see where they will officially spot the ball as Walton will take over. But first, let's hear from Dale Cameron.
That's going to be against Walton.
Makes it a first down.
But it is still Walton's ball, but the 15-yard mark off, so that's going to put the ball at the 38. So Etowah got to suck it up here. Now they're playing for pride. They're not going to win this game. They've got to try to keep Walton from going over 40 here. Shope, 12 of 15 for 352 in the air. And that's the first catch of the night for Cole Watts. Stuart Head making the tackle.
Matt, let me ask you this. If I told you back when you and I first talked here about an hour before the game, if Walton Star top receiver Sam Letman have only 2 catches for 32 yards, but they still be leading 35-3 at the end of 3, would you, or the early fourth quarter, would you have taken that bet?
Well, probably not, but it goes back to what Dave Spala told us this week. And Shope, heavy rush, dumps it off complete to Brooks. Brooks steps out of bounds at the 30, couple of yards shy of the marker. But Spala told us, his defensive coaches have been working all week on trying to figure out how to contain Letton, but he threw in this cautionary note that you can't devote all your resources to Letton. They were slow to make an adjustment on Blaylock, and it hurt them badly in the first half. So 3rd down and 2. Brooks not going to get to the sticks. So Brooks gets stopped in his tracks by Blaine Miller.
He's up a 4th down, loss of a couple of yards.
They'll go for it here. So Walton in 4-down territory with their 32-point lead. They'll go for it.
Run some more clock.
Wind starting to whip up here in Woodstock. Shope fumbled the handoff, recovered in time to get the ball to Brooks, but he does not get the first down, so the ball will go over on downs.
Nice job there by the Etowah defense. Just looking again at Blaylock, and as we switch, the Walton offense goes off the field. He's like a silent assassin out there in the wing. 5 catches, I think, all night, but he's just silent, quietly, just kind of sits there. But boy, when you go to him, he delivers every single time. And we haven't, we'll talk more about the Shope in a minute. I want to get back over here to Etowah now. Now that the issue for them, you have not had great success throwing the ball downfield. Now you're going to have to throw almost every.
Well, yeah.
You're not going to score 32 points in 9 minutes, but to try to get something going here and move the ball downfield.
I think you just get to your game plan and you just try to manage this game like it's 0-0. You're not going to win, like you said. That was Sisk on the sweep. And Sisk gets about 3 yards on the play up to the 33. I think if you're Etowah, you go back and you just start working on your game plan like you're starting the game from the start, because you're not going to win. You're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Barring some kind of act of God, you're going to lose.
Or some kind of 1980s Disney movie with the ball all of a sudden magically bouncing around because there's some kid who
or something.
Ate some kind of mysterious pixie dust he found in a cave in his backyard, and he can blink his eyes and make the ball move funny. So
I think you just go back and try to do what you do and try to put something good in the tank for next week when you take on Woodstock.
Move right there by Moore, gang tackle, but you're exactly right to your point. I think they whistled that ball dead before it popped out, but you're exactly right. At this point, it really becomes almost like a bit of a 10-minute scrimmage at this point.
Yeah.
Right? Just try to get out there and fundamentally fix some things, do some things right.
So, ball at the 33-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. Yeah, you see they haven't gone to the air these last 2 carries. I think that's exactly what you do. You just try to do something positive here and finish out this game, maybe score a touchdown. 9th possession of the game for Etowah. They scored on their first possession, a field goal, and that's been it. To the air they go. That's a first down catch by Oliver. I'm sorry, that's not Oliver, not 82, but 32. Rex Steiner with the catch.
Haven't had a chance to call his number much. Some nice plays on defense. One more look at this. We talked before, but what a great athlete he is. Runs a 4.5 40. He's a well put together young man. Nice athletic move there to reach up and get that ball and still have the balance to right yourself and get a few extra yards.
You know, and you think back on this game, and there's been so many big plays, especially offensively for Walton. As Etowah lines up for a 1st and 10 here from their own 44. Ferris to the air, complete. Blake Jones slips through a couple of men, and he's going to get a touchdown.
There you go. Finally, a little something to cheer about here for the home team, all the fans here at Etowah High School. Great job there by Jones. Well, he kind of got nicked up in the game. He's limping his way back to the stadium, but it's going to feel a lot better after that. The TCSG touchdown replay. Let's check it out one more time right here. Looking for him all the way through. Obviously, the coaches saw something right there. Gets into the hands of their versatile speedster, and he's off to the races. The Eagles get on the board finally with a touchdown. You're just saying they hadn't scored since their first possession.
Yep, there they go.
There you go.
Allen on for the PAT, and he pops it through. 35-10. So, Blake Jones limping along there on the sidelines. He had enough giddy up to run 56 yards for the score, cutting the Walton lead to 35-10.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is made possible in part by Regions Bank. It's time to expect more. Georgia's Electric Membership Corporation, lighting the way. Technical College System of Georgia, learn more, earn more. Cigna, together all the way. And viewers like you, thank you.
As a strong, stable bank, Regions is always looking for opportunities to boost the vitality of our communities. In addition to offering financial solutions for our customers, we are committed to supporting local initiatives and organizations that help our neighborhoods thrive. Regions is proud to be a partner with GPB in building a better Georgia.
At the heart of our community are the businesses that don't skip a beat. Georgia's Electric Membership Cooperatives stand behind local commerce. Whether keeping farms running or shining a light on new ventures, we bring business, large and small, to our communities. Creating jobs, driving development, supporting dreams. Georgia's EMCs, powering our businesses, lighting the way.
Today, companies in the aerospace, advanced manufacturing, and film industries need skilled workers, and the earning potential is high. Go Build Georgia can show you where the jobs are and what skills you need to get them. And the Technical College System of Georgia has fast, affordable training for these great paying careers. Build your blueprint for success at GoBuildGeorgia.com and look to the Technical College System of Georgia to put your plan into action.
.702 to play in the ball game. Walton with a 35-10 lead on Etowah. The Eagles finally getting on the board with the 56-yard touchdown catch by number 2 Blake Jones there. 6-play, 70-yard drive. And the touchdown pass from Ferris.
A quick score as well. Less than 2 minutes.
Ferris with his 9th touchdown pass of the season, and Jones has 5 of them.
Yeah, Jones has worked really hard tonight. It's kind of nicked up. Nice to see that young man get some success, break free from his defender. That kind of picked themselves. So they broke out of that fray.
First game to kick it off.
Good speed despite a little bit of a limp he's got. Still showed some pretty good speed on that breakaway.
Nobody really deep for Walton. Smith and Blaylock standing at the 22, and the other 9 are all jammed in there in the 40 to 50-yard line, that 10 yards. They do a squib kick, and it was touched, I believe. I believe Etowah touched it before it went 10 yards. I'm pretty sure that Etowah touched it about 9 yards beyond the kick. We'll have to take a look at that replay there as they sort things out. Walton's pretty convinced that Etowah touched it first, and it will be the Raiders' ball.
Onside kick recovered by Walton.
Coach Svela wanting an explanation.
Walton will have the ball first down in Eagle territory on the 49-yard line.
So the ball will be spotted, at the just shy of the 50-yard line where Etowah touched it illegally, and that's where the Raiders will take over. So
let's try
here
to
you
check
go.
this here.
Might be a little difficult to tell because you can't see the arm right there.
Yeah.
Stewart had it kicked off his leg just shy of the 50-yard line. Needed it to go about a half yard more for that to be a legal kick.
Stop after a gain of 1 yard. Brandon Riley on the stop.
So Walton here in year number 2 for Mo Dixon. Looks like they will start the season 4-0, and they play Wheeler next week. Wheeler well on their way to a 2-0 start in the region as well, so that'll be another matchup of region leaders when they play next Friday night. But Mo Dixon says the big difference for him year 1 to year 2 with Walton has been an off season. He didn't really get a chance to have a great off season with this team a year ago when he got hired after Rocky Hidalgo left to take the job at Glenn Academy, and they didn't have a great off season in the weight room, just simply from a logistics and timing standpoint. They had that full off season this past year between year 1 and 2, and you can see the results. Big wins over South Gwinnett, Marietta Lassiter, and tonight against Etowah, with Wheeler coming up next week. And then they'll get a week off before they play Roswell, and that could be the game that decides the region championship.
Yeah, right there. Unbelievable how that would play out. 3rd and 1 play here, taking a little clock.
Brooks.
Hand off to Brooks.
Looks like he's got the first down if that mark is true.
Yeah. Shouldn't have it. Wait for the sign. You're going to stop the clock here and measure. 6:06 to go. You know, we were talking before about the staff and Coach Mo Dixon, and we haven't talked a lot about Addison Shope, and Coach was telling us he's got a good, accurate arm, and we've talked about that. He hasn't been off the money on any pass tonight. New quarterbacks coach, Brett Sloan, is coming in, working with the offensive coordinator, and what a great team, what a difference. You saw that the final scores and what they've done already this season. I think every game has been over 30 points scored every game so far.
Yeah. Now they've got a solid offensive unit and a defensive squad to match. I mean, they've really put things together here in the second season for Mo Dixon. That's Blaylock, another catch. Dude's got
on the reception.
Stick him on those hands, man. That's like fly paper.
Yeah.
That ball stuck to his fingertips, and he just hauls that thing in. Another big catch for Blaylock. That's his 7th catch of the night.
Yeah, he's impressive. Look at this again. Like you said, just good hands everywhere he throws it. And then what he does after the ball, look at this. Just the way he carries himself. He's not intimidated by anybody out there on the field. And you were saying before, all the camps and things he did this summer, he held his own as a freshman. Talking about turning down going to Urban Meyer's camp up at Ohio State. Just wants to enjoy and be a kid because, like you said, he's got 4 years of coaches. So there's no rush to go anywhere right now.
7 catches for 266 yards for the freshman tonight. Throwing to the end zone. That was underthrown. Looking right there. First time they were trying to get the ball to Letton in the end zone.
First time they've targeted him the entire second half. Like I said, just 2 catches in the game.
It's a scary proposition for future defensive coordinators as they try to game plan this Walton team. Who do you stop? Because if you focus on stopping one guy, then there are going to be plenty others that can beat you. And Blaylock, he no doubt will be number 1 on the scouting report when Wheeler starts preparing for their matchup against Walton next Friday night. But take away Blaylock, and then you got to deal with Letton or Washington or Brooks.
Yeah. Or Shope, what he's done.
Yeah. Shope can run the ball.
Yeah, he can
too.
run the ball, yeah. He's not afraid to bring the ball down, and I just like, it reminds me a little bit of, we watched Bailey Hockman, who was one of the quarterbacks I was really impressed with in last year's 2014 season, that he doesn't get rattled back there. And there's a good look at him right there. Addison, coach said just a breath of fresh air, easy kid to coach. But he just sits back, very relaxed, goes through his progressions, doesn't make mistakes, doesn't turn the ball over. And that's what a leader does at quarterback.
Rolling to his left and throwing short again. Cole Watts, the intended target. That brings up 4th down. But Shope, over 1,000 yards passing in the first 4 games this season. He came in at 703. He is well over the 300-yard mark in this ball game tonight. So you're talking about over 1,000 yards passing for a high school quarterback in the first 4 games.
Yeah.
But even what he's done here tonight, look at that. Gets no slack from Mo Dixon.
Yeah.
383, and he's getting the talking to as he comes to the sideline on that short bounce pass to Cole Watts.
Well, here's a credit. One reason for his success, his offensive line. You see how clean his jersey is? Yeah. How many quarterbacks do you see in the fourth quarter with no grass stains anywhere on their jersey?
Kick no good from Nick Orell Jones to 33 yards out. And so the ball will go over on downs to Etowah as we're down to 4:54 to play. And John Nelson going to give us some scores.
All right, let's see what's going on in the rest of the state here. Back and forth game with Archer and Grayson. We are down to 6 minutes, 6.5 to go in regulation. Singleton with a 2-yard touchdown run and a PAT. Archer now leading Grayson 24-23. That's with 6:24 to go. 4:37 to go regulation and counting from last report. Peachtree Ridge holding on, and they are leading McEachern by the score of 9-6 right now. Also going on, Camden County had a big lead. They ended up beating Brunswick 41-30. They were up 34-10 at one point. And let's send it back upstairs. We'll have more stuff in a bit.
Rooks just ran right through Patrick Ferris and dropped him. Second quarterback sack of the night for Rooks, who plowed right through him. That's 5 sacks for the Raiders tonight.
Well, one more look at this. Well, that's just impressive. We hadn't called his number the entire second half. We started being ignored.
You sure you want to play baseball?
Exactly.
You're pretty good at football, too.
That's right.
Third baseman and right-handed pitcher for that Walton Raiders baseball program that is typically among the best in the state. He actually missed their first football games this season. Rooks didn't even play in their first game this year against South Gwinnett because he was playing for Team USA in an all-star game out in California. Baseball.
Yeah.
So.
Eldrin Roy on the tackle.
He's a really good-looking athlete. Davison maybe kind of banged up a little bit. Tough night for him. trying to build on the success that he had last year.
Got a lot of those Etowah Eagles going to get in the ice tub tonight.
Yeah.
Blake Jones, Tyree Devison.
3rd and 10 on the 20.
Patrick Ferris.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not been an easy night for the sophomore quarterback. To the air he goes and nearly intercepted. Christian Sullivan got his hands on it, and it's 4th down.
Well, credit this Raider defense again. We talked about before. Only they did wrong really was the 2 mental mistakes. 4th down, the offside that gave Etowah a 1st down. Later, another offside, gave him a 3rd and 1, allowed him to keep that drive alive and get a 1st down. But otherwise, they've had just an outstanding effort tonight. Boy, they've given the Etowah offense all kinds of fits all night long.
Allen standing at his 6 to kick.
Cameron Allen the kick.
Blaylock catches it at the 47, and that's where Walton will go back on offense. You know, Blaylock, we've talked about this young man at great length tonight. Blaylock with 4 SEC offers before he started the 9th grade. Sam Letton with 18 offers. Josh White, offer from Mississippi State. Rooks, offer from South Florida. But I think the thing that's also very impressive to me is the 3 Ivy League commits that Walton has. Ryan Rogie committed to Dartmouth. Christian Sullivan, who we just saw a few moments ago, committed to Princeton. KK Brooks committed to Penn. And Joey Goodman has been approached by Harvard as well. So, I mean, they could, by the end of the year, have 4 young men heading up to play in the Ivy League. And we talked about this our first night back on August 21st. This year, there are 44 Georgia high school football players, or former Georgia high school football players, who are playing in the Ivy League this year.
Yeah, that's really impressive and remarkable. I mean, you know, if you ask anybody, any football fan, what that number might be, I would say, I don't know, maybe 10, 8 in the entire Ivy League, but 44?
And you know, and I point that out because, you know, we like to talk about the guys that go play on SEC because we're going to watch those games on Saturday on television. Guys are going to play in the SEC and the ACC, and that's all great and good. There's nothing wrong with that. But the guys that go play in the Ivy League, they're not going to be on television, but they're going to be CEOs.
Yeah, that's exactly. They may go on to own the teams
exactly
that the other guys' sons will play for later on.
Those guys are going to be the guys that hopefully get this mess turned around in this country.
That's right.
Get our economy straightened out. So, enough of that.
On that little side note, yeah.
Under 2.5 minutes to play here. Walton with a 35-10 lead on Etowah. That's been the star of the night right there. Dominic Blaylock, 266 yards receiving, 7 catches, 3 have gone for scores.
And had a 4th one called back.
Yep.
By a holding.
Yeah, he'd be over 300 yards receiving.
Yeah.
Scary. There's a quarterback sack. Kayo gets there.
New quarterback in the game. That's Bobby Ladon.
Yep, Bobby Ladon, the junior quarterback in there. Got some of the backups in there on that offensive line as well.
That was Cross Drayton, number 34, with the carry as well, that last play, 5'10 junior.
Yeah. Spencer Davis has taken over at center for Clark Price, the senior. And, that, you know, we talked about Etowah's offensive line, just 1 senior, 3 juniors, and a sophomore. The contrast to that is Walton with an offensive line, 4 seniors and 1 junior. Makes a big difference.
It does.
4th down, Walton milking the clock here. And they'll call a timeout to avoid the delay of game, killing the clock with 66 seconds to play. Walton, as we talked about at the start of this broadcast back around 7:30, a team that has been there and done it and trying to get back. 2011, they played in the state finals. Their only loss that year to Robert Kimdichie and the Grayson Rams. They've been semifinalists 4 times, 84, 07, 04, 07, and of course in 2011. 7 region titles, 5 of those have come in the last 11 years, have made the playoffs 12 of the last 14 years, last year being one of those anomalies. and 51 college players since 2006. And you remember some of these guys. Tyron Jones, who started out at Alabama. He's now at Hutch Community College. He'll be in another D1 program in the near future. Brandon Cablano blocking on that offensive line for Georgia. Darren and Zach Blaylock, Dominic's older brothers there at Kentucky. Kyle Westman started at Vandy. Chase Thomas at Stanford. Justin Forte, Richmond. Hamilton Holiday at Vandy. A little bit further back, Aaron Kelly at Clemson. Chuck Carswell at Georgia. He's got a long history. Guys who've gone on, not only start at Walton, but start at the college level too. See if Walton's on top of this at the end of this punt.
It's an impressive lineage of Walton football at the next level.
You see that face mask that number 55, Clark Price, is wearing? Can't wear those in college anymore. They've outlawed those things.
Where fingers getting stuck in them, is that the problem?
Dangerous. There he is. You turn around, see, you can't wear those in college anymore. I guess I had not checked to see if that rule applied to high school football. Apparently not.
It's almost like a lacrosse mask.
Yeah, you can't wear those anymore in college. But I guess it's still legal in high school.
Interference penalty.
I confess I hadn't bothered to check to see if that rule applied to high school, but I guess not.
I think that gnats have problems getting inside the grooves of that thing.
Well, they're big enough, unfortunately, for a finger to get in there.
Right,
Finger can really get messed up if it gets caught in that thing. So Etowah has the ball at the 44-yard line with 55 seconds to play. See if Ferris still in there at quarterback. Looks like he is. Ferris cranks it up and goes deep. It's intercepted at the 15-yard line. Hoskins with the interception, brings it back the other way, runs it back to about the 46. There is a flag down on the field. First interception of the season for Hoskins, and the third for the Walton Raiders, and that is the first interception that Ferris has thrown this season.
Wow, that's impressive. Flag back at the 26. Let's see what the call is.
Flag on the play.
So that's going to erase that interception.
Yeah.
So strike everything that I just said. Nelly, got a score?
Scoring update from the new and shiny scoreboard at Peachtree Ridge. Final, they hold off McEachern by the score of 9-6. Final score, 9-6. Peachtree Ridge knocks off McEachern.
Wow, that is huge.
Yeah.
McEachern ranked second in the GPB top 10. Will be dropping. What's amazing is they held McEachern to 6 points. McEachern's put some big numbers on some teams this year. They put 50 on Tucker in the Georgia Dome. So Etowah, ball back at the 30-yard line and 40 seconds to play. Bad snap. Rex Steiner ends up with the ball. Gets to the 26. So McEachern going to drop. We'll see McEachern coming up October 9th here on GPB as they play host to North Cobb. Timeout called by the Eagles with 28 seconds as we take a look at the Etowah Eagles. They'll be back in business next Friday night playing host to Woodstock. Then they'll take a week off for the second half of their schedule, which includes Pope, Milton, Lassiter, Wheeler, and Roswell. Roswell we saw week number 1 here on GPB. Very impressive 35-8 victory over Lowndes. Roswell, I believe, number 5, perhaps,
I think so,
in the GPB 6A top 10. Night started with 3 teams in this region ranked in the top 10. Etowah probably going to take a plummet after their 35-10 loss, or whatever the score ends up being here in the final 28 seconds.
Oh, nice night for Walton. Learned a lot about this team as they go to 4-0. And as we talked before, the weapons, in the future, it may not be the focus on what do you do with Letton. The focus is how do you stop Blaylock. I think that changed real quick tonight in 48 minutes of play.
Yeah, and if you stop Blaylock, then what are you going to do with Letton?
Yeah.
And all the rest of the guys.
Right.
Washington ended up having 4 catches tonight in a big night.
Right. Athletic. Good hands, the receiving core.
Lightning flashing off in the distance as the clock is running down. Ferris scrambling for his life and gets rid of it. That is an incompletion as Goodman picks it up and runs with it, but that's an incomplete pass.
Well, he is lucky to have that only incomplete. That's the same play we saw in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I was getting ready. Let's get back to that because in my mind, that's probably the turning point of the game.
Yeah.
There's been so many big plays in this game, but they had the ball at the 2-yard line, a chance to punch it in, tie the game. They took a 20-yard loss at the 2 on the sack by Goodman.
Yeah.
Got a field goal out of it, and until just a few moments ago, that was their only score of the night.
Yeah.
And so in a night of big plays, that one kind of gets buried.
Yeah.
But that 20-yard sack, Goodman on Ferris, I thought was a huge play as you reflect on how this game unfolded.
Well, in fact, they were first and goal at the 4. Got it down to the 2 on the 2 plays, and you're right, then that play happened. But yeah, you're exactly right. And it was the same kind of play where he was rolling to his left as a right-hander, which means he'd have to stop and turn the ball around, and he had a defender on him the entire time. He didn't have a chance.
Ferris running and steps out of bounds, stopping the clock with 7 seconds. John Nelson on the scoreboard.
The other big game going on in Gwinnett County. We are under 2 minutes to go. Regulation. Grayson has the ball at the Archer 47-yard line, and it's 24-23. Still a 1-point game. Archer's leading 24-23. Time's ticking. I believe, as Al Sorello used to say, clock ticks, right, guys?
That's right.
Under 2 minutes to go regulation.
Archer,
we got 7 seconds here.
Archer currently ranked number 1 in the GPB.
Correction, 11 seconds to go regulation. Archer still with the lead.
Okay. So perhaps the final play right here. Ferris, another quarterback sack to end the game. 6 quarterback sacks for the Walton Raiders tonight. The last one coming by Matt Smith to wrap this game up, and how appropriate for a Walton defense that smothered Etowah tonight.
This was just an impressive. Man, I'm with you. Go back to that play defensively early on, the first offensive drive. Oh, look at this.
Well, we got something going on here between Dave Savela and Mo Dixon. I don't know what happened. Savela extended his hands to shake hands with Mo Dixon, and Dixon would not shake hand. We have no idea from where we are in the booth what happened, but words were being exchanged, and now the coaches are being pushed aside. That's an unfortunate scene here to wrap up this ball game. Dixon obviously fired up about something. Savela seemed to be surprised by it. I don't know what happened, won't speculate, but you saw what happened right there as this game comes to a close and Walton wins it 35-10. Here's a replay. Now, Savela extends his hands to shake hands. Dixon's like, I don't want to shake your hand. And then, I don't know. So 35-10 the final, as the Walton Raiders now 4-0 and 2-0 in Region 5-6A. Etowah drops to 3-1 and 2-1 perhaps. 1-1 in the region.
Well, you wonder too. Maybe it's the fact that Walton was still throwing the ball until the middle of the fourth quarter, and Savela, even though he put his hand out, may have been saying something to that extent.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there were no cheap shots that we saw, no plays that stand out that were wrong.
No way to possibly know for us right now.
Yeah.
That's a story that we'll have to get to at some other point.
But look, he's still fired. Whatever was said, he's still fired up about it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to find out later about what happened there, but 35-10, that's the Etowah principal out there talking to Mo Dixon right now. And we'll see if John Nelson can do any kind of investigatory work down on the field and find out what happened, what precipitated that confrontation here at the end of this, what turned out to be a blowout win for Walton.
Yeah, he still, he went up and went to the young running back, Rex Steiner, said some words to him, congratulated some assistant coaches, but was not happy with Svela.
Well, Mo Dixon heads to his sideline. His team gets the win tonight. And let's check in with John Nelson. Nelly, what you got?
Okay, I guess I'll ask this the most diplomatic way possible. How would you describe what happened after the game was over?
All right, it's no deal. Bullies don't like it when they get hit in the nose, and that's how you run your thing. They got a great program here, but you don't say stuff to kids. You don't say stuff to kids. And, I'd pick on me too. But you just don't say stuff to kids. I might have lost a little bit there, but now you don't say nothing to kids. And that's exactly what happened. End of story.
Okay, let's talk about the game itself. We talked at halftime. You won the first and the second quarter.
We won the first, we won the second, we won the third, but we lost the fourth.
Okay.
But I guess the others were good enough. So, that's how it goes. They wanted to beat us, we don't like them, or they don't like us, and whatever. They're a great program. I think the world of him. I think he's a good coach. But I'm going to stick up for my boys. End of story. But I wasn't mad. Just like I said, don't do that, But it's whatever. Whatever. I ain't going nowhere. So.
All right, thanks for your time, Mo.
Gotcha, man. Thanks.
Congratulations. Let's go over to Mark. Post-game starts now.
All right, John Nelson, thank you very much. Welcome to Football Fridays and Georgia's post-game show. I'm Mark Harmon.
And I'm Jackie Britton, and I think we're going to get to a couple of highlights from the game. A lot to choose from, certainly on Walton's side. So we got a lot to get to in this post-game show. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a few.
And outdoors are back to back.
A little something for everybody.
Fantastic natural history, and it starts and ends on a Georgia beach.
Catch all the fun,
action,
and beauty now on Thursday nights.
Georgia Traveler at 8.
And Georgia Outdoors at 8:30.
Thursdays on GPB.
It is the spring of 1864. The American Civil War is entering its fourth year.
What happened in Georgia in 1864 did determine whether or not there was going to be a United States.
We grew up hating Sherman. We despised Sherman for what he did to us, our buildings, our homes, and our people.
April through December 1864, 37 weeks that make Georgia howl.
Tuesday at 7 on GPB.
I have made a new acquaintance. She's so secretive. Wouldn't it be fun to find out what she's hiding?
Alice, this is Mr. Delisle.
This is not how we do things.
We seek self-rule.
You are British propaganda.
The past always catches up with you. That's what people say, isn't it?
In caves, dangerously deep underground.
There it was, right there.
It's everywhere.
Amazing discoveries.
A most remarkable creature.
2 new fossils from the human family tree.
Ah, beautiful.
Shedding new light on how we evolved from ape to human. Dawn of Humanity on this Nova National Geographic special.
Part of GPB's Why Wednesday, this Wednesday at 9.
Welcome back to Football Fridays and Georgia's post-game show, live here on GPB, as we've just seen the Walton Raiders knock off the Etowah Eagles 35-10.
Certainly a lot of interesting things to happen here towards the end of the game, but definitely a great game on the field with the football players. I mean, Walton really earned that game tonight largely because of Dominic Blaylock and Addison Shope finding a friend in each other, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We'll watch those guys, or the younger guy, for years to come. Let's check out now some scores on the Georgia EMC scoreboard. A lot of big ones around the state. Colquitt County leading Enterprise, Alabama 48-7. Coach Rush Probst going for his 251st career win and his 100th win at Colquitt County. Valdosta, no trouble with Thomasville, 35-0 in the third. Lowndes all over Rockdale County, 56-0 in the fourth. Archer and Grayson, it's a 1-point game, 24-23 with just seconds to go in that one. Big upset so far. Coach Mark Fleetwood's Peachtree Ridge team knocks off McEachern 9-6. Roswell over Lasker 52-10 in the third. We've got Hillgrove over Lovejoy 17-16. Cartersville top ranked in 4A, leading North Paulding 38-0. It's Parkview over Brookwood 48-9 in the Battle of Five Forks Trickham, and Marietta leading South Cobb 23-12 in the fourth.
And then next week, the GPB sports team heads to Halford Stadium, where at 7 p.m. we will have the fourth quarter of the Banneker-Miller Creek game, followed by the Creekside versus Stevenson game. So for all of us here at GPB Sports, we hope that you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast and look forward to seeing you guys next week. But that will do it for us for now from Etowah High School.
All right, have a good week, and so long, everybody.
So long, everybody.
This is a GPB original production.
You wish upon a star.